proud to have Dr. Selina with us here. Dr. Selina is a registered financial planner. She has a BBA and also a doctorate degree in financial planning. And she was earlier an academic, and then she left for family business, and then they're basically a diversified experience that she has in terms of debt management, financial management and stuff. So she's here with us today to share her experience and also disseminating her knowledge to all of us. Altogether, there will be 3 sessions that she will be managing today. And we will be doing the Q&A at every end of the session. So once session 1 completes, we will open for Q&A from students. And then we will continue with session 2 and the Q&A for session 2. And subsequently, we will run the 3rd session and we will do Q&A for the 3rd session. So we hope to have a very fruitful session today, which will not just benefit you for now, but also for your future undertakings. So over to you, Dr. Selina, on the 1st session. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Biwani. Good morning, everyone. Okay, can you hear me? Okay, if you can hear me, just drop a Y in the chat box. I want to try out the chat box. That's how we're going to communicate during this webinar. Okay. Hi, Lim Suan. Yes, you can hear me. So you know how to use the chat box. Okay, good morning, Adeline. You're from the Global Environment Center. Is that from APU, Dr. Biwani? Or are they external to this institution? Global Environment Center, welcome.
I think they are invited by the institution.
Okay. Thanks for joining us, Adeline. Very happy to have you all here today. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, so good morning. So today we are actually having a, an saving and investing webinar. Okay, whereby we're going to talk about 3 topics. Okay, the first topic actually is an introduction to what personal finance is all about. All right, before we start today, I would like to tell you that Sens-Ability is the name of our webinar, and it's actually a financial and investment literacy program brought to you by BURSA Malaysia. And we also acknowledge Credo Foundation's contribution to some of the contents that is being presented in this webinar. Yeah. So before I start, just a disclaimer, this webinar is only for general information purposes, and it does not constitute any legal, financial, trading, or investment advice. So it also does not make any recommendation or endorsement regarding any of the products that is mentioned in this webinar. You're advised to seek independent advice before taking any action based on the information presented. And all examples presented are entirely the presenter's own. So BURSA Malaysia and the presenter, we do not accept any liability for the information provided during the presentation and in the presentation slides. Okay, so let's start. Okay, when we start with personal finance, okay, often we say, what is personal finance? So personal finance basically covers many topics, okay, and it usually starts with planning and budgeting. So where do we start with personal finance? We start with planning and budgeting. And also, after doing your planning and budgeting, the next thing that you need to think of is how you're going to save and how you're going to invest the money. Personal finance also encompasses things such as like tackling your debt or managing your debt. And it is managing your debt is actually something that everyone should know, as somewhere along your life, you will actually take on a debt or a loan. All right. So for example, what kind of debt or loan that you're going to take up? Like when you want to buy a vehicle, okay, you would possibly need to take up a loan. Or when you need to buy a home, right? A high chance you need to take up the loan as well. So this becomes your debt. So we will need to learn how to manage the debt. And on top of that, insurance is another part of your personal finance that you need to consider, because it will also affect how well prepared you and your family are for emergencies. And finally, we have retirement. Retirement planning, which is important to ensure that your post-retirement, you can be financially stable. All right. Why is personal finance important? Simply because money matters. And money can cause a lot of issues in people's life. So first question, do you want to make sure that your family is always protected financially in case of an unexpected event? Do you want to? Well, if you do, if you want your family to be protected, then you need to have personal finance knowledge. Number two, relationships. Nearly half of divorces in Malaysia, are due to financial problems. So to have a stable and harmonious relationship and to avoid the stresses that couples go through, financial stresses, that can even lead to divorce, right? You need to have this personal finance knowledge. You need to know how to manage your money. You need to know how to manage your debts and so on. And the last reason why money is important and why personal finance knowledge is important, because of financial stress. Because if there's mismanagement of funds or mismanagement of money, all right, you will actually be financially stressed, and financial stress can cause poor sleep, mood swings, mental health problems, and so on. So where do we start? When we talk about personal finance, planning a budget is the very first step in your personal finance journey. So today we're going to start to look at what is budgeting, or the basics of budgeting, and why is it important. So budgeting is important because planning a budget will help you get the most out of your money. You will think about how to make money and how this money is going to cover your monthly expenses in the most efficient way. And the second reason is you learn where you'll be able to cut down on your spending so that you can also start saving. Or if you're already saving, some of you would have actually already started saving, we will look at how we can increase your saving. And once you have enough savings, you actually have enough of emergency funds, we can even think about how we're going to invest the money. All right. And budgeting also will help you keep your debt under control. From your budget, you will be able to see how much debt you have. You will know when you need to stop taking on debt in order to avoid these stressful situations, this financial stress, which might cause a lot of problems. Planning a budget. There are 3 steps involved in planning a budget. Number 1, you need to know yourself. Number 2, you need to set priorities. And number 3 is where you plan your budget. Let's look at the first one, knowing yourself. Before you can start planning your budget, the first thing you need to know is that you need to know how you are currently spending your money, your spending habits, basically. What are your current income? What are your expenses? And how you actually spend, what kind of things that you actually spend your money on, that is your spending habits. So you should take some time to observe and record all of this information. All right, number 1 is your income. Number 2 is your expenses. By either using an expense tracking app or very simply just use a Google Sheet. To do it, there are plenty of Google Sheet budgets available out there. Find one and use it. Or if you're not so technologically savvy, then just a simple piece of pen and paper or a journal, can do the job. Choose one that suits your need. All right. When you talk about income and expenses, are you familiar with what is income and expenses? Maybe you can tell me, those who are attending the webinar here today, what are examples of your income? Who can tell me what are examples, or what sort of income do people have each month? We have a mixed group. Let's see. Salary. Yes, Chi Hong. You have your salary. What else? Besides your salary, what other type of income? As a student, what kind of income do you have? If you're working, yes, it's salary. If you're not working, where does your money come from? Salary, yes, your profits from investment. Money from your parents. Very good. Yes, Zilong. Your allowance. Allowances from parents. Basically, most of the time, it is allowances from parents. The interest that you get from your savings. Business profit, right? If you're running any businesses, then your income will be your business profit, your side hustles, isn't it? Your wages, your part-time job, income that you get from your investment, that's what you call your passive income. Even like, for example, during Chinese New Year, when you get your ang pao, or during Hari Raya, when you get your duit raya, that is also your income. Any money that comes into your pocket, you put it in your budget as income. Any money that you get. Okay. Now, on the other hand, something that we need to know, not only the income, but what is actually more important is your expenses. What kind of expenses do you have as a student? Or what are the expenses that you currently have that you can think about? Can you name me some? What are your expenses that you have? What expenses do you have? Entertainment, yes. Internet, you have to pay for the internet services that you have, right? Your rent, your food, your phone bill, very good. Transport, okay. As a student, you pay also for stationery, yes. Groceries, everybody pays for groceries. Okay, what other things can you think about? Socializing, no socializing now. Maybe when we were, in our normal times, most of the time, we have socializing also. Your entertainment, yes, your school fees also is part of your expenses. Okay, very good. Right, e-commerce shopping, yes. A lot of money now spent on e-commerce shopping because we can't do physical shopping. All the shops are closed because of the MCO. So yes, e-commerce shopping. Okay, these are all the kind of expenses that you have. So the main ones that we normally have, okay, would be like food, groceries, school fees, even the clothes, right? E-commerce shopping, you buy your clothes, even your shoes, okay? The bills that you need to pay, okay, all these are expenses. Okay, very good. Now that you all have your spending information, so you understand what is the meaning of expenses, okay? So next is we need to see where is your money going, and then we need to create a plan to spend your money. Okay, we will actually explore this in a while. I'm going to introduce to you a budget calculator, very useful. It's called a multiply budget calculator. We will explore that slightly later, yeah? Okay, briefly, the second thing you need to do after you know your income, your expenses, you understand yourself, where you spend your money, where your money goes every month. Okay, the next thing you need to do is that you need to differentiate between the things that you need and the things that you want. Okay, so you set your priorities in the second step. Okay, understand what your needs are and what your wants are. So needs basically are things that is important for you, that you need to get through your daily life. Okay, whereas wants are the things that you desire, okay, to buy for your own pleasure or convenience. So very simple of a need and a want. So say your phone breaks down, or you drop your phone, or you lost your phone. So now you need to buy a phone, okay? So the question of which phone to buy becomes a matter of priority, okay? So if you probably need it only for just normal communication, okay, maybe just to, get connected on social media, all right, just to make calls, WhatsApp and so on, then probably a regular phone can do. But on the other hand, okay, it becomes a want when you have this desire, all right, to buy the latest smartphone, your iPhone, probably what, 4,000, 5,000 ringgit versus a regular phone, say 1,000 ringgit. Okay, so you need to set your priorities and you need to understand how you are spending your money. And is it actually worth spending the 3,000 or 4,000 ringgit, okay, to buy the latest smartphone if you're a student? Okay, and whether you have the means to buy the money or to buy the phone. Okay, your needs are always more important than your wants. So if you have a limited budget, you got limited money, then you need to know how to spend your money wisely. So whether it's going to be a regular phone or whether it's going to be a latest smartphone. Okay, after you know your needs and wants, the next point or the next thing you need to do is that you need to prioritize what is important to you. And that's where your goal setting comes in. All right, so you say regular handphone, 1,000 ringgit, latest handphone, say 3,000 to 4,000 ringgit. So the difference is 2,000 to 3,000 ringgit. So that's where your goals comes in. So once you know your needs and wants, you come up with, or you actually prioritize your goals. Okay, you come up with your financial goals. Okay, what are financial goals? So as a student, a financial goal might be to start building your emergency savings. All right, so we know we need approximately about 6 months, at least 6 to 12 months of emergency savings. All right, so how are we going to build up this emergency savings? So we can see, so the 2,000 or 3,000 that I don't spend here, okay, I just buy a regular phone, the 2,000 to 3,000 ringgit, I can actually channel it to my emergency saving fund. Okay, that's one example of your goal. All right, another example is maybe you're saving up to buy a house. Okay, how do we save up to buy a house? Of course, the money has to come from somewhere, right? Okay, that's where your needs and want comes in. Again, you need to balance between this need and want, okay, so that you're able to save the amount and put it into your goals. So other examples of financial goals would be, for example, a wedding fund, okay, or even buying a car, or even saving up money for investing. Okay, those are all your financial goals, yeah? All right, now, when you plan a budget, okay, you have already clarified, okay, all your short-term needs, your needs and wants, your short-term needs, your long-term needs, okay? So what you do is that you start planning your budget. Okay, we're going to look at the multiply budget calculator in a while. Okay, but when you want to plan your budget, this is generally for everyone, yeah? Now, the first thing is, when you want to plan your budget, if you have a credit card debt, okay, you need to pay off the credit card debt first. Okay, just a simple question here. May I know how many of you all here have a credit card, whether it's your own, whether it's a supplementary credit card? Okay, if you have a credit card, can you drop a C in the chat box for me? I just need to know about how many people of you all here actually have a credit card. Okay, nice, okay. C. Okay, quite many of you all, okay, have a credit card. Yeah, my mom gave me, okay, supplementary credit card, also considered a credit card. You're actually holding a credit card, right? Okay, now, when you have a credit card, when you plan your budget, the first thing that you need to do is that you need to pay off all your debts first. Okay, be it a credit card, and credit card should always comes first. Credit card debts comes first to settle because it actually has one of the highest interest rates around. Okay, and then second one, you need to budget to settle your loans, your housing loan, your car loan, okay, your personal loan, all right, any other loans or any other debts that you have, you need to pay off these two things first. After you have done your allocation for your credit card and your budget, the next thing is you need to start saving for your emergency funds. So in those days, we used to say, aim to save 6 months of salary or expenses for emergencies. But COVID has come about and it has actually taught us a very, very valuable lesson. That unexpected events can actually come up at any time and we need to be prepared for it. Last time we used to say 3 to 6 months is sufficient, but after COVID, we are actually advising everyone to save at least 12 months of expenses for emergencies. Okay, nobody actually expected COVID to last so long. It started in March last year. So now it's already June, already 15 months. So it's more than 12 months. Really unprecedented. So we need to be prepared for this kind of unexpected event. Yeah? So as a student, you don't, for example, as a student, you don't have a credit card debt, right? You have got no loans to settle, right? So what do you do next? On your list, you start saving for your emergency funds first. All right? Now, when you want to budget, you need to also start saving. Learn how to start saving. So to save as much as possible for retirement. If you're already working, one way of saving for retirement is through EPF deductions. Okay? And on top of EPF, which is actually insufficient, you need to also at least save 10% of your net income every month for your retirement, your personal retirement fund. Okay, 10% paying yourself first. Every month you get your salary, 10% of your salary you set aside into a different account, or you straight away, okay, put it, take it out, send it to another account and just keep it there every month, 10%. Yeah. Of course, it's not all about saving, paying debts. You also can have what we call a wants or play money. Okay, 10% of your salary, you can also allocate for your play money. This is for your entertainment, for buying things that you like. Okay, life must be a balance. We cannot just live life paying off debts, saving, okay, and so on. We also need to have some entertainment, okay, to balance off our life. All right, so 10% of your salary for your wants. Okay, and if you have dependents, if you're married, your dependents would probably, if you have children, it will probably be your children who will be your dependents. Or sometimes if you're a sandwich generation, you will actually have parents to take care of and also your children to take care of. So those are your dependents. But if you're not married, does it mean that you do not have any dependents? Okay, some of you may have, even though you don't have children, okay, but you have brothers or sisters that you need to take care of, or you even have parents who rely on you. Okay, when you start working, they rely on you for the pocket money or for the living expenses every month. So you will have any of these dependents, you must make sure you have life insurance. That's very important. Like something if happens to you, at least they are able to, okay, have a certain amount of money for their living expenses. So the insurance policy payout, okay, will help them to make their ends meet when you are gone. All right. Okay, let's see. So now we're going to go to multiply. Okay, we're going to go to the multiply website and we're going to use the budget calculator to plan the budget. Okay, this is how the budget calculator looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the multiply budget calculator link in the chat box. So what you'll do is that you'll actually just click on the link and it will take you to the website that gives us the multiply budget calculator. Okay, so I will open up my screen and share this. Okay, so this is the calculator. All right, so we are at multiply.org.my. This is the calculator page. Do you all see the link in the chat box? Okay, try to click that link. Okay, if you're not on the laptop or if you're actually on your handphone, all right, you can just click the link and save it there first. And later on, you can explore this, yeah? Okay, we'll go to the monthly budget calculator. Okay, from the monthly budget calculator, this is where we are going to key in or input all your income and expenses, all right? And we're going to practice what we have just discussed just now. Okay, for your income, all right, there are basically two types of income that you can key in. One is a daily income, and the other is a monthly income. All right, so I would actually say that at this point, okay, we will actually do a basic budget, okay, a simple budget. So we will start with with an income. Okay, who can tell me on the average, how much do you earn monthly? Just give me a number so we can just see how we're going to work this budget, yeah? Okay, how much do you earn on an average as a student, for example? So parents' allowance, okay, maybe your PTPTN loan on the average, you divide by 12, okay, you get your yearly income, then you divide by 12, okay, include all your ang pao money, include your part-time work money, okay, on the average, okay, Nini says, right, about 2,000, okay. Now, when it comes to rent, all right, there is daily rent, weekly rent, and monthly rent. But in Malaysia, most commonly used is the monthly rent. Okay, if you're renting outside, for those who are actually renting, okay, how much do you actually pay for rent every month on the average? Okay, just type in the chat box. So if you're on your laptop, it's actually quite easy to work out. If you're on your handphone, then you need to switch between the Zoom and this website, yeah, the Multiply website. Okay, do you pay rent? Okay, how much do you pay rent on the average in Kuala Lumpur? Okay, anyone? Just give me a number. How much rent to pay? Okay, on the average, about 400. All right. And utilities, that means your electricity bill, your water bill. Okay, what else do you actually, what are the utilities? What is the utilities amount on the average that you actually will pay for utilities? On the average, can I say about 100 ringgit? Is that reasonable? 150, okay, Dalton. Thank you. Okay, 150. Are you paying any loans at the moment? As a student, are you paying off loans? All right, maybe no loans yet, but once you start working, then maybe you have to think of your PTPTN loan, or maybe if you are, you have a car loan, then you need to solve your car loan. A loan from that, you have to repay him after you start working. That's true. Okay, or maybe now you have to start repaying. If you're working, then you have to start repaying your debt already, even when you are studying. Okay, so loans, maybe I'll just put it at 0 first. Maybe no loans yet. Okay, savings, you don't know how to save. You don't know how much you're saving. All right, groceries. How much do you all spend on groceries each month on the average? I know it's a bit different now because you're in COVID and then most of you are actually at home and everything is on your parents. But just think back to the times when you were in campus, and you actually have to buy groceries. Of course, mommy will settle everything. Stay at home is the best, isn't it? Brandon, everything on your parents. Don't have to pay rent, don't have to pay utilities. Okay, 60 for a week, approximately. Very good. All right, and this subscription, I want to ask you, your Netflix, your Spotify, your internet, how much do you spend for all these kind of subscriptions? Okay, the others, think and see, this is a good time for you to evaluate yourself. All right, this is a good time for you to think how much you're actually spending, you know, because sometimes we don't realize, we just go on life, you know, one day at a time, okay, not care for our finances. Okay, 20 ringgit for your subscription. Okay, that's pretty cheap, Zillow. All right, say 20 ringgit, 250 ringgit. Yeah, so that's 120 ringgit. Okay, it varies. Okay, so we take an average between 20, 250 and 120, 140, 140 plus, okay, 130 average. 250 plus 120 plus 20 divided by 3. 130 subscription every month. All right, food. This is normally your biggest bill. Okay, on a daily basis, monthly is difficult to approximate. Okay, we talk on a daily basis. How much do you spend on food? If you're staying on your own, that means you're back in campus, or you know, you're not staying with your parents. How much do you think you would spend on food every day? On the average. KL, how much do we spend on food? Is 30 ringgit enough a day or 20 ringgit enough a day? Depends where you stay or depends where your campus is. Okay, doctor is saying about 20 ringgit. Okay, Xiaohui, 20 to 30. Yeah, that's quite reasonable. 20 to 30, correct? So let's put it at 25, midpoint. Huh? And 25 ringgit a day, right? Okay, so what about transport? How much do you all pay for transport? Grab 20, come and go. Wow, that's one day, you know. One day, 20 ringgit. 1 week is 100. 1 month is 400 for Grab. Yeah, expensive. Oh, one place. Okay. Transport monthly. Okay, say transport 10 ringgit a day. So let's put it at 2,200 because 5 days, assuming that you're studying 5 days a week. So I just put it at 500. Okay, what other fees do you pay? Okay, if you have any other expenses, all right, okay, which is not listed here, what you can do is you just press this button here. Can you see here? Add expenses. So more and more columns will come up. So you can just add on whatever you like. Okay, so this is crunch time. Now let's have a look how we are doing. So your monthly expenses is 2,000 ringgit. Okay, your monthly income is 2,000 ringgit. Expenses is 1,870 ringgit. So you're under budget by 130 ringgit. Means you actually have 130 ringgit extra. Okay, remember the rule earlier on that you need to save 10% of your earnings every month. So what is 10% of 2,000 ringgit? Your savings here. You must remember to have savings. That's where you start building your emergency fund first. All right, 200 ringgit monthly saving. So let's calculate again. Now you're over budget by 70 ringgit. So where is this 70 ringgit going to come from? It means income 2,000, your expenses are already 2,070 ringgit. So you're over budget by 70 ringgit. So that's where you go back into your budget and look at your expenses every month and see, okay, and think what is a need and what is a what. Okay, let's talk about food. 25 ringgit a day. Okay, so rather than spending really 25 ringgit a day, do you think that you can reduce and spend only 20 ringgit a day, for example? So no need to eat less. Maybe don't eat in such expensive places. Eat less fast food. Can, right? So that is one way we normally can reduce, say, 20 ringgit here. Okay, another way is a subscription also. Okay, do you need the Netflix? Do you need the Spotify? Or do you need your 500 megabyte per second package, internet package? Or looking at your current phone plan, do you think that you can save some money there and perhaps use a lower range or lower budget subscription? Okay, let's try. Say cut food first, 20 ringgit. So then you calculate, yeah, correct. Income 2,000, monthly expenses 1,920, under budget by 80 ringgit. So you can actually save, by saving 5 ringgit a day on your food, your savings can actually add to 280 ringgit. You calculate again, it's balanced. You understand how it works? Okay, so you can play around with this budget. It's really useful, okay? And you can also later on, when you're used to the simple budget, you can use, go on to look at the detailed budget also. All right, I'm going to drop a link here for you, whereby this link will show you, okay, or give you a step-by-step guide on how to do a budget. Yeah, okay, let me go back to my slide. This one. Okay. Not this screen. Let me unshare this and let me share again. PowerPoint slide. Yes, this one. Okay. All right. So this was where we are. Okay, this is our multiply budget. Okay. So after this, for this one, a detailed step-by-step guide on planning a budget, you can go to this website that I just put in the chat box for you. And from here, you can also look at all the various personal finance topics and read about it. Yeah. Okay, so with that, we end the first portion. And the second portion that we're going to look at is after you plan your budget, what is next? So in the next section, we're going to learn about how to manage your debt. Okay, managing your debt. What is the debt? Okay, we know debt is basically money that you owe someone else, such as your bank or your creditors or even your parents. Okay, your debts may include things such as like your credit card loan, your hire purchase loan, which is your car loan, your housing loan, personal loan, if you have any, and any other loans. Okay, that includes loans from our parents, loans from our relatives, okay, or any other loans for that matter. Now, remember, your total debt, this is the formula that you must always keep in mind. Huh? From your net income, the total installments or total debt repayment should be less than 40%. All right. So you should always try to aim that you only pay at most 40% of your salary in order to maintain a good financial health. So this is the rule of thumb that you need to keep in mind. So it's very logical. 40% of your income already go to your debt repayment. You're left only with 60%. So if you're earning 2,000 ringgit, all right, you are paying 800 ringgit for your installments or for your debt repayment. You're left only with 1,200 ringgit to live. So 1,200 ringgit is on the average only 40 ringgit a day, you know. Okay, so that is really stretching it to the maximum already. Yeah. So now, 5 things you need to keep in mind that when you're dealing with loans. Huh? All right. Number 1, your total repayment, like what I told you just now, okay, it should be less than 40% of your income. So this is to make sure that you can meet your repayments and it won't be too stressful for you every month. This is the cause of financial stress. All right, when your debts start to pile up, you cannot balance your money every month. Okay, then the financial stress comes in and all your marriage problems will come in, health problems will come in, and so on. Yeah. All right. And number 2, you need to differentiate between what is a flat interest rate and what is a reducing balance interest rate. Okay, there are 2 types of interest rate and you must be familiar with these 2. Okay, we will talk about this. Reducing balance interest rate is the interest charged on the remainder of your loan. So the word reducing balance means the interest that you pay is based on the principal amount that you still owe the person. All right, and flat interest rate on the other hand is charged upfront, okay, on the total amount of loan that you have taken. All right, so we will watch a video after this and you will get a better idea between these 2, the flat interest rate and a reducing balance interest rate. Now, the third thing that you need to know when you deal with loans is another term called effective interest rate. Effective interest rates are the actual amount of interest that you pay for your loan. So when you want to compare 2 loans, all right, you need to get the effective interest rate first before you know which loan is better or which loan's interest is better. Okay, so always check your EIR, all right, and compare it with other loans from other banks before you can take up the loan. Okay, you can also go to multiply.org.my to learn more about EIR, but I'm going to show you a video later on, which is from Multiply. Number 4, before you sign up for a loan, always ask for a product disclosure sheet. That means you need to actually read through what are the terms and conditions, okay, what is the interest rate given, what is the loan repayment period, okay, what is the lock-in period, okay, and all the minor details, okay, you need to look at the product disclosure sheet. And finally, must always remember timely repayments. Why timely repayments? Because your repayments will actually be reflected in your credit score. Right? Do you all know CCRIS? C-C-R-I-S? Okay, you can actually look this up. Okay, if you're interested to get to know what is your credit worthiness or what is your credit score, you go to the Secrets website. Okay, you just go and register and log on there, and they will actually send you a credit score report. Okay, I think they're having a promotion now, they're actually having a free report there, yeah? So you can go to Secrets website, do a Google search. Okay, from there, you can look at your credit score. So timely repayment is important because whenever you make or when you don't make a repayment, it will be reflected in your Secrets report. Every month, they will show every month whether you pay. If you pay, it's a 0. If you don't pay, if you pay, that means it's 0. You got nothing owing. If you don't pay, then it will be indicated that how many you didn't pay. And why is the Secrets report or a credit score important? Because it is important for you. Because in the future, when you want to take any loans, apply for any credit card, they will always refer back to your Secrets, and they will see whether to approve your loan or not. And that also will be another another criteria to determine what rate of interest that they're going to charge you. Okay, now let's move on to the next part. Okay, this is where I'm actually going to share with you the multiply video on what are effective interest rate. Remember, I told you when you want to compare loans, there is flat interest rate, there's reducing balance interest rate, 2 types of interest rate, right? But we need to make it common. This common interest rate is called effective interest rate or the actual interest rate. Okay, how do we calculate what is this effective interest rate and how do we calculate it? All right, let's have a look at this video. Okay, let me make sure that the sound is on. Okay, it's on. Let's see.
Trying to decide between using a credit card or getting a personal loan? Which gives you the better interest rate? Well, actually, different types of loans have different types of interest rates. There are 2 types of interest rates out there, a flat interest rate and a reducing balance interest rate. But a flat interest rate of 2% isn't the same as a reducing balance rate of 2%. So wait, how does this work? Well, personal loans and car loans use flat interest rates. A flat interest rate is calculated from the original amount you borrow. So even as you pay off your loan, the interest you pay stays the same each year. For these loans, go for a shorter tenure to save on interest payments. Home loans and credit cards, on the other hand, use reducing balance interest rates. Here, the interest is calculated from your leftover loan balance. So as you pay off your loan, the interest you pay gets smaller and smaller. If you can't afford it, pay off more of your loan to save on interest payments, especially for credit cards as they have really high interest rates. So if flat and reducing balance interest rates are calculated differently, how do we compare them? Well, by looking at the effective interest rate or EIR. The EIR is the real interest rate of a loan and is basically the same as a reducing balance interest rate. As a rough guide, take your flat rate and multiply it by 2 to get your EIR. So a flat interest rate of 3% would have an EIR of about 6%. You can find the EIR on the bank website or in the product disclosure sheet. But if you still can't find it, call your loan provider and ask for it. So how do you decide between using your credit card or getting a personal loan? Simple, always compare the EIR. For example, if the personal loan interest is 14% per year, this means the EIR is about 28%. Say the credit card, on the other hand, has an EIR of 18%. You'll know that this is the better option, since it has the lower EIR. No matter which loan you pick, always make your repayments on time to avoid extra fees and penalties. For a more accurate EIR conversion, check out our EIR calculator on www.multiply.org.my. Multiply is a non-profit initiative by Creador Foundation.
Okay, so that is a brief explanation about EIR and why we actually need to know what is the EIR of the loan, of the effective interest rate. Yeah. Okay, how does it affect these loans? Okay, let me ask you, okay, if based on the video just now, okay, just a short question here, I hope you all can understand. So for flat interest rate, so if you see a personal loan, okay, say now, you want to take up a personal loan, all right, and they advertise the personal loan as 18% per year, okay? So may I ask, do you all know what is the EIR for this personal loan? For flat interest rate, okay, what is the EIR if they advertise it as 18%? Okay, what is the formula? Who knows the formula? Okay, yes, it is double, correct, Atish? Okay, For flat interest rate, whatever interest rate that is advertised, the general rule is it is going to be double. In this case, the actual interest rate or the effective interest rate that you're going to pay for this personal loan of 18% is 36.62%. All right, and that's where we normally get caught because we don't understand the concept of flat interest rate. The same, when we buy a car, all right, now they advertise the rate as 2.5% per year. Oh, the salesman will tell you, very cheap, only 2.5%, almost FD rate. Okay, you should take the loan. But do you know what is the actual interest rate for this car loan? If it's a flat interest rate, car loan advertised at 2.5% per year. Who can tell me what is the approximate effective interest rate? Okay, based on the same formula, yes, it is 5%, or approximately 4.82%. So please remember, yeah, everyone, when you want to take a vehicle loan, you want to take a personal loan, okay, the first question that you ask the salesperson or the bank officer is, what type of interest rate is this? Is it a flat interest rate or is it a reducing balance interest rate? All right, that's the first question you have to ask them. And then if they tell you it is a flat interest rate, the effective interest rate that you're going to pay, or the actual interest rate you're going to pay, is roughly 2 times what they advertise. All right, on the other hand, if you have a housing loan, for housing loans, they advertise 4.5% per year. Okay, what do you think is the effective interest rate? Yeah, average is almost the same. Okay, Mokshada, it is about 4.5% per year also. And the same for credit card debt. If it's a reducing balance interest rate. All right, so what is the EIR? The EIR is 18% per year. Okay, Brandon, simple and compound is actually slightly different. This is actually to calculate the effective interest rate. That means the actual interest rate that you're actually paying for the debt that you're going to take up, for the loan that you're going to take up. Yeah. Okay. Now, so you understand what is flat interest rate and what is reducing balance interest rate. Okay, and in this kind of knowledge, you really need to know, because loans are something that we will come across sometime in our life. Okay, don't have to think much. Just ask them, is it flat or is it reducing balance? If it's flat, remember you have to multiply by 2. That is the actual interest rate that you're going to pay. Yeah? Okay, next. Personal loans. Okay, let me tell you about personal loans. Now, personal loans are actually the #1 reason for bankruptcy in Malaysia. Based on the research done, okay, the #1 reason why Malaysians are declared bankrupt is because of personal loans. And can you tell me why personal loans are actually the first reason for bankruptcy in Malaysia? It has something to do with interest rate. Personal loans is an interest rate, flat interest rate, or reducing balance interest rate. What do you all think? Why do people get trapped? Yes, it's because it's flat interest rate. Many people actually don't know this. They advertise very low. Don't worry, our interest rate only 7% or 8%. Okay? All right. But the total interest rate that you actually pay is actually based on flat interest rate. So if it's flat interest rate and they say 8% per annum, what is the effective interest rate? Roughly 16%, you know, which is really very, very high. 16% interest rate. You know what is the general interest rate for your savings account now in the bank? 0.5% if you're lucky. If you put in FD, it's about 1.7%. All right? Or even for investments also, okay? Averaging, say, Amanah Saham is about 5 to 6%. EPF is about 5 to 6% also. But personal loan, they tell you 8% flat rate. The actual rate is 16%. Please be very, very careful. Eh? And remember, for personal loans, you do not take a personal loan when you want to invest. That means you say, oh, your friend say, oh, come, let's go and invest. Let's go and, you know, buy some Bitcoin. Bitcoin dropped already. Then you go and take personal loan. All right, don't do that. Personal loan you cannot take or should not take for investment, and you also should not take personal loan for paying off your other debts. All right. You only use it really for emergencies. Yeah. And also only take personal loans from reputable sources. Don't go and see your money lenders. Okay, they are really dangerous and they really charge very high interest. Okay, 1% a month, which is say 12% a year. Sometimes they tell you 1.5% a month only. Same like credit card, 1.5% a month. All right, you multiply it by 12, it's actually 18% a year, flat interest rate, and you need to multiply by 2 again to get the effective interest rate of 36%. Okay, so that is the formula, yeah? So let's take an example of a personal loan. So now, you say you really need to take out a personal loan. You want to get married, no money. All right, no choice, really emergency. You really need to get married already, yeah? 5,000 ringgit, they tell you, and you can repay it for 5 years. Take 5 years to repay it. Every month, repayment is only 150 ringgit. 150 ringgit, does it sound manageable for you? Okay, what? Only 150 ringgit, isn't it? All right. So they say in order to qualify for this personal loan, you just deposit 100 ringgit. All right. And they approve your personal loan. But do you know the numbers behind it? Okay, look at this. You actually borrow 5,000 ringgit, but the interest cost that you're paying is almost double, you know. If you pay for 5 years, you borrow 5,000 ringgit, you are actually paying 4,100 ringgit. And your total loan, for 5,000 ringgit, your total loan cost after 5 years is 9,100 ringgit. And it is actually flat interest rate of 16.4% a year. So if flat interest rate 16.4% a year, what is the effective interest rate again? Approximately double, so about 30%. So you get the effective interest rate of 29.42%. Okay, your total interest cost is 82%, which is so high. Imagine you're paying 29.42, close to 30%, you know, of interest. But if you actually don't look at all these numbers, just look at the top part, isn't it? 5,000 ringgit for 5 years, monthly repayment 150 deposit. It sounds so affordable. I can pay this, no problem. Just take 5,000 ringgit for 5 years. Every month, just pay 150 ringgit. I can afford the 100 ringgit deposit, isn't it? While its interest seems very low, over time, you would have paid almost double just the amount of interest. All right. So I'm going to drop you another link here. Okay. In case next time you want to come up or you want to, you know, do take up a a personal loan. Okay. Please go and key into this calculator here to find out what is the actual cost of your loan. Okay. I've dropped another link for you all in the chat box. Okay, so visit multiply.org.my to calculate it for yourself. All right. Now, the next one. Let's talk about this car loan here. We have two loans. So now say you want to buy a car. Let's say you want to buy a car and the car loan is 40,500 ringgit and its chargeable interest is 2.5%. Okay, car loan is normally flat interest rate. So you know your effective interest rate is about 5%. Okay lah, not very high. All right. But what we are concerned about is the repayment time. Now, which loan do you think is cheaper? Is it loan A or loan B? Okay, everybody take a guess. Which loan do you think is cheaper? What do we look at? One monthly repayment 751 ringgit, another one monthly repayment 451 ringgit. Which loan do you think is cheaper for you? Loan B is cheaper, loan A is cheaper. Which one is cheaper? In the end, which one is cheaper for you? Loan A, loan B, loan A, loan B. 5 years. 5 years is Atish is loan A. Okay. That's right. Yep, Nian. The reason why my car loan is 5 years shortest, you can go and nearly ended me at the beginning. Yeah, that's right. Loan B, loan A. Okay. Those who have those who have taken up the loan will understand this. Those who have not taken up the loan, congratulations, because you're in this webinar today, you're going to learn about car loans. Okay, now, the shorter, the cheaper, exactly that. The shorter is the cheaper. For loan A, all right, you pay 5 years and the monthly repayment is 751 ringgit. For some people, it looks like very expensive, isn't it? Wow, I have to pay 751 ringgit installment. Loan B, okay, 9 years, you have to pay 451 ringgit per month. Wow, this looks very affordable. I think I can pay what, 450 ringgit, no problem. But do you know what's behind it? For loan A, you're actually paying 4,556 in interest based on the effective interest rate of 5%. For 5 years at a monthly repayment of 751 ringgit per month, you're paying 4,556 in interest. For loan B, you're paying double the interest. You're paying 8,201 ringgit. While the monthly repayment of loan B, it looks lower, it looks cheaper, isn't it? But over time, you're paying close to 3,600 ringgit interest extra. You understand what I mean? That means the longer the tenure of your loan, the more the interest that you're going to pay, and the more expensive the loan is going to be. All right. Now, the next question that many ask me in the webinar also is, what if I cannot afford this 751 per month? The salesman told me, oh, you cannot afford 751. Never mind. 5 years loan, you drag to 9 years. Okay, you only pay 451 ringgit. You can afford it, what, 451, 300 ringgit less every month. Okay, what would your thinking be, or what would you think when someone tells you that? Is it correct or not? Okay, so you're a fresh graduate, right? You come out, 750 you cannot afford. You earn 1,500 ringgit, for example. You want to take a 40,500 ringgit loan. Okay, so 751 per month you cannot afford. 50% of your salary gone just to pay for your car, not including your petrol, not including your servicing, isn't it? Not including your insurance, road tax, a lot of other expenses. Then the salesperson tells you, never mind, you take 9 years, 451 ringgit, you can still afford, isn't it? Your 2,000 or 1,500 ringgit salary, you can still afford to pay. Okay, what do you do? Okay, one, correct. Try to increase your down payment. So by increasing your down payment, what happens is our loan amount will go down, isn't it? So when our loan amount go down, our monthly repayment will go down also. Okay, Brandon, your papa is a rich man. Yes. If your parents can help out, then congratulations, you're really lucky. Okay, you must really thank God that you're so lucky your parents can afford to bring up the money and help you. But what about those who do not have the option? Okay, what do you do? Public transport for now. Yes, one thing is to defer your car purchase. That means don't buy now because you cannot afford it. Right? Start saving up to buy a car so that you can put a bigger down payment so that your loan amount will decrease. All right. Or number two, if really you cannot take your public transport, okay, rather than taking up a loan of 40,500 to buy a new Myvi, for example, okay, slash your budget into half, say 20,000 ringgit, and then you shop around what you can afford for 20,000 ringgit. Okay, you can wait, you can save up the money, correct? Or you reduce your expenses one more way. But you must remember, if you reduce expenses, you have to reduce for 5 years, for 5 years, you have to tighten your belt, you suffer for 5 years. Are you willing to do that? Okay, think about it. Okay, so it's a matter of choice. Okay, but I really hope that you all make the correct choice. Okay, you need a car. It does not necessarily have to be a new car, isn't it? Okay, you can still buy a good second-hand car. All right. Okay, so you think. Now, for this one, for hire purchase, okay, I will also drop you this multiply calculator. So when you want to buy a car, you refer back to this link and you can calculate to see which loan that you should take up. All right. Okay, now let's move on. Hire purchase agreement. Now for hire purchase agreement, or what we call our car loan, number 2 reason for bankruptcy in Malaysia, really scary. Imagine you take car loan also, you can bankrupt, Okay, why? Because we live beyond our means. We cannot afford the installment. Okay, but at that point, we really want the car, we don't think much. Whatever the salesman say, we just agree and we sign. All right. So remember, the longer the loan, the more interest you pay. Loan A 5 years, loan B 9 years. So always take the shortest loan period. 3 years even better if they have. If you choose a shorter loan, okay, then you probably can cannot afford your monthly repayment, then choose a different car lah to fit your budget. Don't have to buy, okay, the car that you really that you're looking at, isn't it? Look at other options. All right. Now, the second one is choose a car for which your repayment can afford. And remember, yeah, for hire purchase agreement, it is flat interest rate, whereby the monthly interest remains the same throughout. Yes, Nian, good question. Is it possible to pay more every month like house loan? I would like to reduce the interest rate for car loan. Nian, you have to understand for car loan is flat interest rate. Remember, for flat interest rate, how they charge you the interest rate? When you take the loan, say 40,000, when you take the loan, they already charge you the 3%. Okay, so 3% of 40,000 is 1,200. Okay, if you calculate, then they add this amount, the 1,200 is added into your principal. So it becomes 41,200. Okay, 3% times 40,000, right? Okay, then they add back to your 40,000. So your loan becomes 41,200. Okay, that is for 1 year. 1,200 is only for 1 year. Okay, but depends on how many years loan you take. So if you take 3 years, it will be 1,200 times 3. If you take 5 years, will be the interest 1,200 times 5. If you take 9 years, it will be 1,200 times 9. So you took 5 years, I remember you told me. So 5 years times 1,200. So your total interest cost is 6,000 ringgit plus back your loan, which is 40,000. So your total loan is actually 46,000. They take 46,000 and divide by 60. That's how you get your monthly repayment. If you ask me whether you can reduce your interest rate for car loan, cannot reduce anymore. Even if you pay more, okay, it does not reduce your interest rate. Why? Because it is a flat interest rate. Your monthly interest remains the same throughout. Your monthly interest already charged from the beginning. All right, not like the reducing balance interest rate. Good question, Ian, because in the next one, I'm going to ask you, can you save on interest by increasing your money repayment towards your housing loan? So you have to understand housing loan is what type of interest. Car is flat interest rate. The interest remains the same throughout of your loan. So you cannot reduce your interest if you pay more towards your car because it's a flat interest rate. Okay. Whereas for housing loan, do you think that you can save on interest? Yes, Atish, exactly. It is because it is reducing balance interest rate. So reducing balance interest rate simply means that they will charge you the interest based on how much you still owe them. So first year, say you take 200,000 loan, and then you do some repayment. Second year, okay, your loan from 200,000 reduced to 198,000, correct, for example. First year, they will charge you on 200,000. Second year, they charge you on 198,000. It's based on what balance you have, principal balance in your account. Okay, so the answer to this is yes. Housing loan, you can increase your monthly repayment because that will save you on your interest. All right, now for housing loan, third reason for bankruptcy. So we are going in order of bankruptcies. Why Malaysians go bankrupt? Because these are the most common loans that we take. So what to do? Always compare a few loans before you take the loan. And look for the loan with the lowest interest rate. Because housing loan is reducing balance interest rate. Look for the one with the lowest interest rate. Okay, the more you pay towards your loan, the more you get to save on the interest. More repayment, therefore more savings. All right, because it is based on RBIR or reducing balance interest rate. Okay, I hope you understand so far. Now, next, if you want to buy a brand new computer, okay, should you save up for it or should you just swipe your credit card? What do you think? Save or credit card? Save or credit card? Save up. All right. Logic will tell us it's save up. Intuitively, we will say save up. Correct? But in case of emergency, how? Are you going to use a credit card? Oh, yes. Some will say, yes, use a credit card. So which is which? Do we save up or do we use our credit card? Okay, the answer is, it depends. If you are able or if you are sure that you can use and pay off your credit card. That means you swipe your credit card today, all right? And you must pay off your credit card when it is due. Paying off means paying off the full balance, everyone, not the minimum balance. Credit card statement also you must know how to read. Okay, there is current balance, there's minimum balance, and there is statement balance. You must always pay the statement balance. That means what you owe them, not the minimum balance. Because got 3 numbers there, so when we pay, we always pay the smallest number. That is really dangerous. All right, you need to pay your credit card on time. Yes, because it will affect your credit score. All right, correct. You can also check if you want to use a credit card, like what I do also. Like when I go on Shopee or Spotify, and if I buy a big ticket item, okay, maybe about 500 or 1,000 ringgit, I use my credit card also. Why I use my credit card? Because the credit card has got 0% installment. 0% installment means if I buy 600 ringgit, okay, my credit card allows me to pay 100 ringgit every month for 6 months without any interest. 0% installment. Okay, Maybank, yes, for Maybank, I think Maybank for Lazada and Shopee. And then I think Public Bank also, Public Bank for Shopee, if I'm not wrong. You know, I'm also an internet shopper. Okay, so does paying up credit card on time still charge interest? No. If you pay on time, when you pay your credit card on time, the full balance, the statement balance, not the minimum balance, always pay the full balance, which is a statement balance. There will be no charges, no interest charges. But if you use your credit card and you don't pay your credit card on time, there will be interest charge. On top of that, if you don't pay the full balance, they will charge you on the balance which you still owe them, because it's reducing balance interest rate. So how they charge you? They charge you based on what you still owe them. All right. And say this month, 1,000 ringgit you didn't pay. All right. So 1%. So they charge you 100 ringgit. Next month, the interest charge will be based on 1,100 ringgit. It's interest on interest. And it multiplies very, very fast. So if you cannot afford to pay it, don't use your credit card. If you really need to buy it, you start saving up for it. All right, or you look for alternatives. Okay, so credit card loans is 1.5% per month. You see on your statement, sometimes they say 1 to 1.5% a month. The trick is many people get caught here. 1.5%. You only see the number 1.5%, but they don't see what is behind the fine print per month. You know how I got 18%? Any idea? 1.5% a month, how we get 18% per year? Yes, times 12. Exactly. So when they say 1.5% a month for credit card, it's actually 18% per year. All right. And sometimes they say 1% a month is actually 12% a year. Very high. Okay. Always pay off your credit card loans in full. Okay. When you pay the minimum balance, it's going to take you a long time to clear out your loans. And your interest rate will keep going up. And credit card is based on reducing balance interest rate. So the interest will be charged on the remaining balance of your loan. Okay? So remember, to wrap up, let's just recap the 5 things that you need to know when it comes to debt. Number 1, total repayment rule of thumb cannot be 40% more of your income. Number 2, you must find out whether it's flat interest rate or reducing balance interest rate. Number 3, always compare and check the effective interest rate for your loan before you sign on the agreement. Number 4, always ask for a product disclosure sheet. Make sure you know what you're signing up for. And if you're already taken up the loan, remember you need to have timely repayments. That means you need to pay on time to maintain a good credit score. Okay? All right, so with that is the end of our first session. Okay, I hope that's useful to you. I had some questions. I've actually addressed some of the questions as we went along. Okay, if there are any other questions, Dr. Ibiwani, perhaps if you want to see whether there's any question. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Selena. Thank you so much. It is indeed a very fruitful session. I, for one, learned quite a lot in terms of managing my loans. I do have a lot of hire purchase, mortgages, and stuff like that. Now, for students, if you have any questions with regards to the first session, please put up your questions in a Q&A chat box. And I think we do have some coming in a Q&A for Dr. Selena to provide feedback. And then once we're done with the Q&A, then we can move on to the second session for today.
Okay. Let me see if there are some. Okay, this is our second session. Okay, let me just check the chat box if I see any questions coming in. Oh, okay, you want a recorded video? Dr. Biwani?
We will be on the recording. Don't worry too much about that, because we'll be in communication with BURSA, and they should be able to provide us the link, and we will be communicating to all participants on the recording if you require to have one. Not to worry.
Okay, thanks. All right. Okay, let me answer some of the questions that are actually coming in now. Very good questions, actually. Very, very smart questions. Huh? Okay, if I don't take any loans nor credit card, should I just take any just the sake of having a credit score? Yes, to this answer, I would say yes. Okay, if you're a graduate, okay, fresh graduate, you don't have a credit score. So you want to say take up a loan, you want to take up a car loan or maybe a housing loan, right? So when this when the bank, they want to pinjam you the money, of course, they need to have something to refer to. Okay, but you got nothing. They open up your secrets, it's all zero. You got no loans, no history. Okay, so I would say yes, just take up one credit card, okay, and you use it perhaps once a month, okay, maybe just to pay for your petrol, or when you go to the grocers, you just pay for your groceries. And every month, remember, yeah, you must pay on time. What they want to see actually is whether you pay on time or not. Okay, so if you just say you have one credit card in your secrets and it's all 00000, which means that you are a very good paymaster, then normally the banks will not hesitate to give you a loan. Okay, but please do not abuse the credit card. Sometimes when we have the credit card, we always think that credit card is fast cash. No cash, we just go to the ATM and take money with our credit card. That's very dangerous. All right, you get a credit card only for the sake of coming up with your credit score so that you can take up a loan later, yeah? Okay, now is a reducing balance bank loan on a long-term agreement better than a short-term? Okay, normally for loans, I would say the shorter, the better. So reducing balance interest rate, okay, say we talk about housing loan. Because the problem is the housing loan, the what do you call that? The amount that you borrow is really huge. Okay, like in Klang Valley, just the other day we're having a webinar also. I was telling them in Klang Valley, 20 years ago, 800,000 can actually buy you a bungalow. 800,000 today can only buy you a small condominium. So 800,000, you put down 10% down payment, you still need to take a 720,000 loan just to buy a house. So these numbers are huge. So you are left with no choice but to stretch your loan as long as you can. Okay, so that you can actually come up with a monthly repayment that you can afford. All right. So reducing balance bank loan depends on the amount that you're borrowing, and also depends on whether you can afford the repayment or not. But don't worry, for reducing balance bank loan, especially housing loan, you can actually do what we call a prepayment. Okay, so before you sign on the loan, you always check with the bank, make sure that they actually allow you to do prepayment. All right, some banks like I think HSBC, just quoting, not recommending. HSBC, I think you can actually have your what do you call it? Your monthly salary go directly into your account. They have one account, your loan account and your savings account in one. And then after that, because your salary goes in for a few days or maybe for a week, you don't use the money, right? That will actually reduce the principal because they calculate it on a daily basis. So if the interest is calculated on a daily basis, you will really greatly benefit from early repayment or additional repayment. Okay. Hi Ms. Selena. So actually reducing or balance interest rate is safer than flat interest rate. It depends. If just say your flat interest rate is 1%, it depends on what interest rate is it. Is it if just say flat interest rate is 1%, okay, and we know if flat interest rate 1%, the actual interest rate or EIR or effective interest rate is approximately 2%, correct? Okay, then you have another loan, reducing balance interest rate, But the reducing balance interest rate, like bank loan for house, is about 3.5%. All right. So which one is cheaper? So when you want to compare two products, always come out with the EIR. Reducing balance interest rate, if 3%, EIR is 3%. Flat interest rate, if 1%, EIR is 2%. So actually flat interest rate is still cheaper. So you need to always look at the EIR. Okay, understand? So that's why we learn about effective interest rate today. So we know how to compare our interest rate to see which one is more savings or better. I mean, should I repay my PT-PTN loan as soon as I graduate? Okay, PT-PTN loan, how much do they charge interest for PT-PTN loan? It depends also. Any idea? PT-PTN loan, I think about 3%, if I'm not wrong, 2 to 3%. Okay, if they actually have a choice for you to repay in installments, you can repay in installments, provided that the interest rate is not too high. Okay, it depends on your goals. Okay, because sometimes we may have a certain amount of money, all right, but if we use all the money to pay up our loan, we don't have any more allocation for our other goals. Maybe you want to get married, maybe you want to buy a car, you want to put a down payment for your car. All right, so if you repay the whole loan, which is good also, all right, that will actually deprive you from achieving your other goals. So it's actually a balance. So you need to look at the interest rate that they charge, and you need to also look at your goals, like how you prioritize your goals. Okay, so you need to do allocation for that. Yeah. Another question. Does payment early is better than payment on time in terms of our credit score, or it's just the same? Okay. Payment early or payment on time is the same. Why we pay early is because we are afraid we forget to pay. So whenever you can remember, if you're not using the money and the money is not getting any interest, just pay early. But if you are actually, rolling your money and the money is getting you some interest, just pay on time. Okay. So I normally pay early because I'm afraid I forget. So whenever my reminder comes out on my calendar to pay the credit card, which is normally 1 or 2 days earlier, okay, I will pay it first. Right? Sometimes there can be situations like last time I used to issue check. The check can get rejected. Maybe the bank said there's some discrepancy on the check. Or sometimes when we do transfer from bank to bank, there might be some problems. Okay, so I always give a bit of time or leeway for all these things. So I always pay 1 or 2 days earlier. All right. Okay, so those are the questions. Oh, a lot more questions on the chat box. If buying a property for investment purpose, is it better to stretch your loan repayment to maximum as possible? Say perhaps I might sell the property after 10 years for capital gain. Okay, Matthew, if you're actually buying a property for investment purpose, it actually also depends on your overall picture, overall financial picture. Because it also depends on how much of expenses you have, how much savings you have, okay, and how many investments that you have. Okay, and what is your allocation like for your investments? All right, if you want to sell after 10 years for capital gain, well, you can stretch as long as you want. Okay, that will actually bring down your installments. On top of that, within the first 10 years, you still get your income from your rental, right? Okay, so after 10 years, you can sell it, okay, capitalize it, and then settle the loan, and then enjoy the difference, that is the profit. Okay, you can do that. My car loan is 450 ringgit for 9 years. I pay 500 monthly. Okay, pay 500 ringgit monthly. What will happen to the interest? Any difference for the interest? Okay, car loans, I would say no difference already, because they have actually already factored in all the interest into the principal amount at the start of the loan. That means when you take the loan, they've already calculated the interest, and 500 ringgit is actually the interest already inside. Okay, so no difference if you actually prepay your car loan. So you pay 10 months ahead also, 500 ringgit, you just dump in 5,000 ringgit. It does not reduce your interest in any way. Okay, but for housing loan, yes. Can I consider paying insurance to be included to the section of tackling debt? Zilong, what do you mean by that? Can I consider paying insurance to be included to the section of, okay, that means, as I can understand, Zilong, that means you're trying to ask me whether insurance is actually considered a debt or not, is it? Now, insurance actually is not a debt. It depends on how you view it. Insurance is only for protection. We always tell our clients, we buy insurance, but we don't invest in insurance. So you need to see what your life needs are. You need to calculate what is your insurance needed. There is a formula to calculate it. Okay, you can find out. And then from there, you see how much you need, say 500,000. So we would normally recommend to get a term insurance, because term insurance are much cheaper. All right, and whatever savings that you can get from the difference between buying term insurance and life insurance or conventional insurance, the difference you take it and invest. Because a lot of insurance products nowadays out there, or even Takaful, they have an investment portion to it also. All right, so the rule is, okay, buy term, invest the rest. All right, most hire purchase apply to vehicles or business machinery. Hire purchase uses flat interest rate. And this flat interest rate also being used for personal loan. Yes, you are right, Zilo. Correct. Okay, paying insurance is part of the expenses, not that, right? Oh, he's summarizing me, and the question is, okay, sorry, this is Yiling. My colleague is actually helping me to answer some of the questions. All right, what is the most suggested loan for investments such as purchase of machinery? Machinery purchase normally is hire purchase. Business machinery, like what my colleague Yiling said, is actually mostly hire purchase. So hire purchase, you have to understand, is flat interest rate. Okay? Yeah. All right. Okay, I think that's all the questions that we have for today. I hope I've answered all the questions.
Okay, right. Thank you so much, Dr. Selina. So I think we can move on with the second section for the session today. So over to you.
Thanks, Dr. Biwani. Okay, so before we start the second part of our webinar today, okay, I will actually do a poll. Okay, I would like to find out, all right, these two questions. Number one, are you investing in the stock market currently? Okay, there are 105 people who can vote. Okay, let's see. You're welcome, Ellen. Okay, 40 people have answered. Okay, maybe another little while more. Okay, about half has answered. No, robo-advisor not counted for this one. Stock market, that means a share market. Directly into the share market. Are you investing in the stock market directly? Okay, 70% has voted, okay. Okay, 75% now. All right. Okay, I shall end the poll now. It's very good response, 75%. Okay, let me share the results with you. All right, so are you investing in the stock market currently? I can see that, okay, about 78% are not invested in the stock market currently, whereas 22% are invested. Okay, and do you have a trading and CDS account? Okay, it ties back. 78% don't trade, therefore you actually don't have a trading or CDS account. And those who trade in the stock market will have a CDS account. Okay, nice. Okay, so that's where we start today with our investing portion. Okay. All right, so it's also part of the Financial and Investment Literacy Program, and this is actually brought to you by BURSA Malaysia. Okay, the same disclaimer earlier on. All right, now, what is investment? Many who are not in the investment foray, about 78% of y'all today, okay, but you are keen actually to start investing. Okay, you actually tend to have many questions on what is investment? How do I go about it? Okay, how much money do I actually need to start investing? All right, or where am I going to invest my money? Okay, should I buy stocks? Should I buy shares? What type of stock do we buy? What kind of income do I get from buying stocks? Okay, what is the dividend? Okay, so these are the kind of questions that you may ask and also can be quite mind-boggling, especially for those who have not started investing in shares or stocks. So the next question is, where do we get our information on to trade? Now, when you are more or less decided that you want to start on the investment journey, the next train of thoughts is that, where are you going to start to get this information to start trading in the market? Do you ask your friends? Okay, do I get, internet information from the internet? Okay, and since internet, is so easy, it's our go-to site for many of our questions. Can you rely on the information, solely on the information that you get from the internet? Is it legit? Now, many a times, the fact that you're actually going to put the money that you've been saving so hard on, you stinge, you manage your expenses, okay? Then you get the money and you want to start investing, okay? And when you want to put your savings or hard-earned money at risk, it's often enough to scare people away from investing. But today, let me tell you, actually, investing is not as difficult as it may seem. All right. Before we go any further, let me do a simple explanation between two things. The first is savings and the other is investing. So is there a difference between the savings and investing? I'd like to share with you the differences. Number one, if you're saving, what you're doing is that you're setting aside money for future purchases. And savings also mean that you're able to access your money quickly. It's like you put your money in the bank, that's considered saving. Anytime you want to take the money, you can just take it out. Okay, with minimum or no risk. Now, investing, on the other hand, is whereby you buy into assets such as stocks, bonds, real estate, gold, cryptocurrency, very popular nowadays. And why do we do that? It's because we want to make money. And also so that we are able to achieve our long-term goals. Okay, now let's look at this example. You have two products here. One is a savings account. Okay, I would say it's the FD account you keep in the bank, annual interest about 2%. So you invest 200 ringgit. You keep 200 ringgit inside your savings account and the annual interest of 2%. So after 10 years, you will make 43 ringgit 80 cent in 10 years. So it's 243 ringgit 80 cent, including your amount that you already invest. May I ask you, any idea, okay, maybe for those accounting, finance students or banking students here or economic students, you have done economics before, can you tell me what is the inflation rate in Malaysia? Any idea? Any of you all here? If you have come across it before, read about it before, do you all know what is the inflation rate in Malaysia? Yeah, about 4%. Yes, approximately there. Any others? Any others who know what the inflation rate currently is in Malaysia or what is reported by? Yeah, 3+%. Correct. Okay, so the inflation rate is about 3% as reported by Bank Negara Malaysia, I think in 2020. Yeah. So what do you think is happening to your money? Inflation rate say 3% or 4%, but your savings account only giving you 2%. Your FD only giving you 2% every year. So what is happening to your money? When interest rate is lower than the inflation, yes, you're actually losing money. Okay, your money is depreciating in value. Or in other words, you are actually effectively losing your purchasing power. Kuasa beli menurun. Okay, what this means is that anytime your savings or the money that you have is not growing at the same rate as the inflation rate, okay, you are effectively already losing money. Without doing anything, you're already losing money. Okay, so inflation rate we know will eat into our purchasing power. Okay, but fortunately, there are ways for us to preserve the purchasing power of your money. So one way is through investing. So should you have an investment, say, you go to, invest in an exchange listed product. Okay, this is available on the stock exchange, say a REITs investment or real estate investment trust. Yeah? Okay, with an annual payout of 6%. 10 years later, you would have made 158 ringgit and 17 cents and a total of 358 including your principal. So you are now investing in an asset class that is beating your inflation. And this is the difference between savings and investing, and how you can actually beat inflation just by investing. So remember, the tip is always invest at the rate the same as inflation or higher than the inflation rate. All right. Now, why do we invest? You have to ask yourself, when you want to start investing, you have to ask yourself, why do we invest? Okay, for those who are here, if you want to start investing, what do you think are the reasons that you want to invest? Can someone tell me? Why would you want to invest your money? To do what? Simple. When you want to invest, therefore you want to what with your money? What do you want to do with your money? Yes, you want to grow your money. Simple word, exactly that. Okay. Yes, you want to make sure that your money value doesn't go down due to inflation, isn't it? You want to maximize your profit. Correct. You want to achieve financial freedom. Okay, one way is through investing. All right. So why do we invest? You want to increase your current income. Okay, we want to grow our money. Okay, number two, we want to achieve our financial goal. It can be financial freedom. Okay, your financial goal will be to retire comfortably. Or for example, your financial goal is to save enough money to get married, save enough money to buy a house. All these are your financial goals. Okay, you want to improve your standard of living. Okay, because when you're actually investing to beat the inflation rate, okay, you are actually in effect increasing the standard of your living and to help you prepare for retirement. Okay, that's why we need to invest. Now, why is investing important? Inflation, that's the first reason. It erodes the value of your money. So a better way to save for long term is by investing. Number two, okay, by investing, you combat inflation, you increase your chances of being able to afford the same amount of goods and services in the future that you can today. So you're trying to maintain your purchasing power. All right. And investing also makes your money work for you. Why? Because of the concept of compounding. In investment, very important concept of compounding. What does it mean? Whatever returns that you earn is actually reinvested to earn additional returns. Interest on interest also. Compounding effect. So the earlier you start investing, the more benefit you get from compounding, because compounding is determined by the amount of time that you have. Yeah. Now, where do we invest? When you start your investment journey, or for those who already start on your investment journey, it's important for you to know or to have what we call a well-diversified portfolio. There are five. Okay, let me tell you. There are 5 asset classes that you can actually invest in. Number one is cash. So you keep in your fixed deposit. That's a form of investment also. Or you can go into fixed income like bonds. Number 3, you can go into shares or equity market. Number 4, you can go into real estate. I think somebody asked me about property investment just now. Yes, there's also one type of investment or one form of investment. And recently, we also have your 5th asset class, which is your alternative investment. Your cryptocurrency, your gold, your silver, okay, anything else that does not fall within cash, fixed income, equity, and real assets. That is all your alternative investment. So when I say well-diversified portfolio, what does it mean? It simply means that you diversify your investment into all these different asset classes. Don't put all your money in one basket. Don't put all your money only in fixed deposit. Don't put all your money only in property. Don't put all your money in shares. All right. Why? Simply, it's because when one doesn't do well, if you put all your eggs in one basket, if that one investment doesn't do well, then automatically everything goes. Whereas if you actually spread out your eggs into different buckets, okay, that's what we call a well-diversified portfolio. You will ensure returns also, even when certain investments don't do well. So they cover up for each other. All right, so that's the benefit of diversification. Now, you can see the word here, unit trust. Unit trust is not an asset class. Unit trust is actually a form of investment. But unit trust itself is already a diversified portfolio. So some people like to add unit trust into their investments for diversification of fund managers also. Okay, so what are the questions you ask before you start investing? Ask yourself this. First question, what kind of returns do I expect? Okay, Okay, how many percent am I expecting? So how do you know how many percent you need? You need to work out what is your goal, okay, and what is the rate of return that you need. All right, always work. When we invest, you always must have a goal while you're investing. Yeah? Because only when you have a goal, you know your timeline, you know what kind of returns that you expect in order to achieve your goal. What kind of risk is involved when I'm actually investing. Okay, how do I reduce the risk? You reduce the risk through diversification. Okay, spread your investments across those 5 different asset classes, okay, as well as a diversified portfolio to provide, and so that it will actually provide you returns. Even when some of the investments don't do well, you can still have this diversification. Number 3, how quickly can I get my money back if I need it? Depends on which stage of life you are. So if you're going to get married, say next year, okay, don't go and put your money or your investment in a long-term investment product. If you need the money within a year, okay, you have to think about short-term investment product. Okay, what about retirement? 30 years, 40 years down the road. Yes, you can think about long-term investment product. Okay, and how can you reduce the risk? Okay, simple. Diversification. Okay, I mentioned that to you. Okay, who knows? Can someone tell me? Okay, who is this person? Anybody knows? Take a guess. If you have seen him before, if you have done investments before, maybe you would have seen him before. Yes, correct. Benjamin Graham. Thank you, Amanawat. You're right. And who is Benjamin Graham? He's the father of value investing. And most importantly, as everybody knows, he is Warren Buffett's mentor. When you talk about investments, okay, everybody talks about Berkshire Hathaway. And the person behind Berkshire Hathaway is Warren Buffett, one of the most influential investors in the world. So Benjamin Graham is the mentor of Warren Buffett. And this is what he says. What is an investment? An investment, according to Benjamin Graham, is something that you have already done thorough analysis. That means you don't invest based on hearsay, you don't invest based on speculation, or you don't invest based on what your friends tell you. Okay, but you need to do some thorough analysis and actually understand what investment is all about before you do it. And it also should promise you safety of principal and an adequate return. So any operations that are not or do not meet this requirement are all speculative in nature. So in investments, we have investments on one side and speculation on the other side. So the way to start investing is via proper research and analysis, not based on hearsay or speculation. Okay, remember. Now, you have to understand that there's no one perfect portfolio. So I always get this question. Okay, so what is the perfect portfolio? How many percent should I put into these different 5 asset classes? All right, there's no one perfect portfolio, or there's no one model portfolio that, for every one of us. Okay, you have to understand each and every one investor is different. Okay, you actually craft your portfolio based on your needs, also based on your goals, okay, and also on your risk appetite. Okay, now you need to know your risk preferences or your appetite. It is important for you to know in order to determine what type of investment is suitable for you. You also need to know how long your time horizon is. Remember, I told you just now, if you need the money in 1 year, make sure you don't invest it in something which cannot come back, does not give you the returns in 1 year. And also, you need to also find out how much of capital that you will need to start investing, something that you can afford. Don't go and take a personal loan to invest. Don't go and take whatever loan, credit card loan to invest. Okay, don't do that. You save up. When you have enough money, then you can start investing. Okay, as each and every one of us, we are different because of all these 4 reasons. Okay, BURSA Malaysia. Okay, since you're on the topic of BURSA Malaysia, so BURSA Malaysia, at the end of this webinar, we're going to have a short Kahoot quiz. And BURSA Malaysia has been very kind, okay, to sponsor prizes for the quiz at the end of this webinar. Okay, so please pay attention. Okay, at the end of this webinar, I will run a quiz, and then we will contact you, or BURSA will contact you with regards to the prizes that they're going to offer. Yeah. Okay. What is BURSA Malaysia? BURSA Malaysia actually has 2 roles. Okay, we always think of BURSA Malaysia only as a stock market. No, they are not. BURSA Malaysia plays a regulatory role as well as a commercial role. They are a market operator. That's what we know what they do. They provide facilities and infrastructure for capital raising. That means those shares all listed on BURSA Malaysia, okay, is actually companies who want to raise funds. And BURSA Malaysia also is a frontline regulator. That means they enforce rules and regulations on these listed companies and intermediaries in order to provide a fair, efficient, liquid, and transparent marketplace for the public. Okay, that is the first one, regulatory role. And BURSA Malaysia also is a commercial entity. That means they are a company themselves. All right, it is a very well-managed company that is focused on creating shareholder value. Okay, so remember, yeah, BURSA Malaysia, first one, they play the regulatory role, and the second one, they are also a commercial entity. So if you go on the stock market, okay, you just key in the word BURSA Malaysia, you can see the BURSA Malaysia share pop up. Okay, you can actually buy and sell BURSA Malaysia shares also, yeah? All right, now when we talk about the word shares, so what are shares? Okay, shares, basically, when you buy shares, you are buying into a company and you actually end up owning a piece of the company. All right, and you become a minority shareholder, which will give you a right, okay, to vote at the company's annual general meeting. Why do you buy share? Okay, those who are already invested, the 28% of your, okay, those who are already invested, why did you buy shares? Because you said that you already have or been trading in the share market before. Why do you buy shares for? Why do you buy or why do you invest in shares for? Yes, for capital gain, that's right. Okay, for capital gain means you buy and sell, then you profit from the difference, isn't it? Besides that, any other reasons why you buy or invest in shares besides capital gain? Have you heard of the word passive income from dividends? That means if you buy into good shares, okay, they will actually pay you regular dividends. And these regular dividends will become your passive income. All right, and the second reason, like what Matthew said just now, okay, is for the capital gains. Okay, what are capital gains? Let me explain. Later on, I'll talk to you about that. Before that, participating organization or brokers. Okay, you may have life goals that you want to achieve when you work with a licensed financial planner like myself. I'm a licensed financial planner. So when we actually write a plan for you, okay, we understand your situation, we look at your goals, okay, and so on. So we will actually write a plan for you. So one of the many recommendations that we often give our clients is to buy shares. Okay. When that happens, what you do is that you can actually choose shares listed in the BURSA Malaysia and work with your stockbroker or remiser, okay, to purchase the shares. All right, so we are a licensed financial firm, and these brokers are licensed by the Securities Commission, and they will help to facilitate to buy and sell shares. So when you want to invest in BURSA Malaysia, what you need to do is to open a trading account. The second question in our poll just now was, do you have a trading or CDS account? Because you need a trading or CDS account in order to buy or sell shares on the stock exchange. Okay, and you can choose to either trade online, which is very popular now, or you can do offline. Offline means you call up your remiser. Online means you just log into your stock platform, okay, and then you key in to buy or sell on your own. Now, some investors prefer online, some investors prefer offline. It's a personal preference. Huh? Okay, brokers. Brokers or remisers are actually monitored by the exchange or stock exchange, and they are required to have adequate funding and proper corporate governance. Okay, who are these brokers? How do we open a trading or CDS account? All right, there are 23 participating organizations or brokers. These are for retails. Huh? Okay, actually, there are a total of 30 brokers. Okay, but it's actually for retail and foreign brokers. Okay, foreign brokers normally only serve institutional clients. But for people like us, you know, the public, okay, retail clients, we call it, there are 23 that you can approach. How much to open a CDS account? Only 10 ringgit. You spend RM 10 ringgit and you open a CDS or trading account. Just open. No need to trade yet. All right. If you're interested, if you see, okay, you can actually go to any of these participating platforms. Okay, I will drop you the list of brokers. Okay, those who are interested to Okay, I will drop you the link. Okay, from there you can actually see all the participating organizations or brokers. Okay, and then after that, you open your CDS account. How many CDS accounts can I open? You can open more than one account. Okay, but every account that you open is only 10 ringgit. So some people want to open one in Maybank, one in Hong Leong Bank, one in Kenanga Bank. Can. Nobody says that you can't. But please call them up to find out what kind of services that they offer. And let me tell you the charges that they have, the what do you call that? Their opening account charge is the same, 10 ringgit, but their brokerage charge is different. So go and find out, okay, what they offer and how much they actually, what kind of services they offer and how much they charge, all right, before you open, yeah? Okay, let's talk about share trading. So when you buy a share, what actually happens? When you buy a share, this is you, okay? You read the newspaper, you've done all your research, so you're very excited, you want to buy a share now. Say you want to buy a share in company ABC, okay, at 90 cents per share, and you want to buy 1,000 shares. So when you buy 1,000 shares of company ABC, what happens is you become the owner of company ABC. So you call up your reminder or you log on to your platform, okay, you key in 90 cents, the deal is done. So 90 cents done at 1,000 shares, so it's 900 ringgit. Okay, you don't pay 900 ringgit because there are also other charges. All right, so you incur 913.27 ringgit because you have got transaction charges like brokerage, clearing fee, and stamp duty fees. Yeah, okay, so your cost is 913.27. So whenever the company makes profit, it will give dividend to the shareholder. So you will be entitled to the dividend depending on what the policy is. So if the dividend policy say they pay 5 cents, so you calculate 1,000 times 5 cents, so you get 50 ringgit dividend, okay, and so on. For example, now, this share that you actually bought at 90 cents has now gone up to 1 ringgit and 90 cents. Will you sell the share? Depends also. If you has actually hit your target, you're satisfied with the price now, then you sell it. Okay, what happens when you sell? You're very keen to sell at 1 ringgit 90 cents. Again, you either call up your reminder or you log into the platform, all right, and you tell, I want to sell at 1 ringgit 90 cents. So it's actually a demand supply thing in the share market. So you have buyers and sellers. So investor A, all right, wants to buy and you want to sell, correct? One person to buy, one person to sell, so it is matched. When it is a match trade, then the deal is done, all right? And this is what happens. You sell at 1 ringgit 90 cents, 1,000 shares, right? So the cost will be 1,900 ringgit, but you will also incur transaction costs. For shares, buying and selling, correct, Matthew, you will incur transaction or brokerage costs. Not only brokerage costs, you got clearing fee and stamp duty fee. So we call it transaction costs. So now, what is the cost of you selling? So 1,900 ringgit, you minus your brokerage, minus clearing, minus stamp duty fee, you get net 1,885.43. So can someone tell me what is the capital gains or what is the net profit that you get? Buy 90 cents, sell 1 ringgit 90 cents, maybe get 5 cent dividend. Okay, so what is your capital gains? What is your net profit? So you take 1,885.43. Okay, you minus off your, how much was it just now? 913.27, I think, right? Yes, approximately, correct, Ahmad, what? Approximately 900, so about 972 ringgit 0.16. All right, so that's how the share trading or how share trading happens. Yeah? Okay, some terminologies for share trading. When you want to trade shares, these are some of the terms that you need to know. Number one is bought lot. BURSA Malaysia has 1 bought lot equals to 100 shares. What does that mean? It simply means it's affordable to buy shares given this small bought lot size. So say you want to buy Top Glove share, say now it's about 5 ringgit, for example. So how much of capital do you have to bring up to pay for these shares? So it's 5 ringgit times 100 shares, so it's 500 ringgit. So it's very low cost entry. All right, yes, it's minimum 100 shares per transaction. Minimum, it can go up to, there's no maximum, I think, as many as you want if there's a seller. All right, and also you have something called a dividend. Dividend, I already explained to you, is the money paid to you, to shareholders from the company's profit. And for every buy and sell, there will be a transaction cost, and they will send you a contract note, which is a transaction statement. Okay, I think some of these brokers, they have actually gone online. You actually sometimes get your transaction statement online, but I think mine, it still comes through the mail. I get it. Whenever there's a transaction, I can see, the postman brings the contract note for me. Commission charges. Okay, this is what you pay when you buy and when you sell. Got brokerage fee, stamp duty fee, and clearing fee. And you also have a CDS statement because you have a CDS account. Okay, it's a central depository system. All right, so therefore, this CDS statement will actually show you a summary of all your ownership and then the movement of your stock, whether you buy stock, sell stock. At the end of the month, they send you one statement, all right, and you can actually see what you own at what price. Okay, nice. So this is a transaction cost that we're talking about, and different brokerages will have different fees. Please check with them. Scout around for a broker who is able to offer you a reasonable brokerage fee and also good service. Okay, some of these brokerages are very good. Every month they will come up with their fund focus, they will come up with the analysis, for a reading and so on. Yeah. Okay, BURSA Malaysia. When we talk about BURSA Malaysia, they actually have 3 markets, and most of the companies are listed on the main market. All right. So 761 stocks on the main market, and majority of Malaysian companies are listed here. So they are for larger and more established company. ACE market is 138 stocks. Okay, there are new companies that might not have large capitals like the main market participants, but they also have strong growth plan and profit track record. Yeah, and the third one is the lead market with 36 stocks. This one, December 2020, they have about 36 stocks, and it actually facilitates for small, medium enterprises and companies for them to raise funds. Basically, the growing companies, right? Now, for lead market, it's only limited to sophisticated investors. That means if you want to invest in the lead market, all right, you have to be a sophisticated investor, whereby you need to have a net personal asset about 3 million. Okay, join with your spouse, exceeding 3 million or is equivalent in foreign currencies, but excluding your residence or the house that you own. All right, so lead market is slightly different. The rest, there are no restrictions. Okay. And oftentimes, a question that many people will ask: how do we pick a good stock or a good company? Okay, who can tell me? How do you pick a good company? What are some of the qualities that we can look for when we want to pick a great company? Good fundamentals, yes, Matthew, that's right. What other things do we look for? Okay, good financial standing, yes, they have good product, good services, okay, the future, good cash flow, very good, yes, they are planning, okay, all this, good liquidity, consistent profit record, good dividend records, good background, okay, you can also use your candlestick, technical analysis, all that, but on the first thing is consistent profit growth, consistent profit records, that's right. Little debt. Why I say little debt? Because if they have little debt, that means they have a low gearing ratio, means they have less debt to pay, more profit to distribute. More profit to distribute means more dividends for you. Okay, little debt. Now look at the gearing ratio. Strong cash flow, I think very good. Many of you have actually mentioned cash flow also, and increasing dividend. Okay, and most importantly is the board of directors and management team, good and capable people leading the company. All right, so all of y'all have very good idea, very good answers. I'm very pleased with the interaction here today. Yeah? Great. Okay, so with that, we actually end our investing portion. All right, and before we go, I've actually come towards the end. I want to make some references to some important websites offered by BURSA Malaysia. Yeah. Okay, now this one, okay, I will drop all these links into the chat box for y'all. Okay, and I'll explain them one by one for y'all. What they are, what they do, okay, and why is it important for us to know. Okay, give me one second. Okay, number one. I lost my screen. Okay, this one. Number one is BURSAMalaysia.com. So BURSAMalaysia.com is a BURSA corporate website. You can go there if you're doing research or you want to find out more about BURSA, about the shares they have there. You can go there to look at the market information, securities, derivatives, Islamic markets information. Look at the products and services, their regulations, and all the listed companies that are there. Yeah? Number two is BURSA Academy. And this is the one that I want to draw your attention to. BURSA Academy. What is BURSA Academy? The word academy tells you is a school, right? So it is a comprehensive e-learning platform that was launched on 3rd June 2020. Last year, newly launched. Very interesting website. Very simple, user-friendly. You can actually access it anywhere that you want. All right, so visit BURSA Malaysia to view all the contents that they have. Okay, what is there in BURSA Malaysia? You have quizzes, you have infographics, you have articles to read, okay, and also short courses. All right, and BURSA Malaysia has also made available gamification for you to discover the investor in you. That means if you're a new investor, if you want to actually, you want to explore the idea of investing in the share market, you can go to BURSA Academy. And for the short courses that they offer, okay, they even give you certificates, e-learning certificates upon completion of the course. All right. Now, many ask me, so what is the price of this? Well, the good news is everything here that is offered in BURSA Academy is totally free of charge. Okay, so you can go in, all right, and you can go and make use of all the type of different information that they have, you know, all the short courses, the infographics, all the articles, okay, it will help you in your research, help you in your studies, and even help you in life, okay, to gain more knowledge about investing, yeah? Okay, that is BURSA Academy. And the last one is BURSA Marketplace. It is an information portal that is loaded with lots of useful information and tips about trading in the market. So if you're serious about trading, go to bursamarketplace.com. So in this website, there's something called a mirror, learn, and trade. Okay, you go there, you register, okay, and they actually teach you how to trade. Okay, what is mirror, learn, and trade, or MLT? It's a very useful kind of tool for you to know what stock to buy, which is relevant, which is new to the market. You can even follow the research analysts, you know, these people who invest and they show you their portfolio. You can even follow them, copy them to buy or sell stocks. So please visit this website, BURSA Marketplace, okay, to access all the contents for free. Yeah? All right. So with that, we will end the session for investing. And the last session, it's almost time. Okay, we have a lot of questions today. So for the last session, we're going to talk about financial scams. We're going to talk a little bit about cryptocurrency and how to actually weed out or find out whether it's a scam or not. Okay, very interesting session, which is in the last session after this. Yeah. Okay. So
thank you, Dr. Selena. Thank you for the second session on investment. I can see from the chat that quite a number of students are very much interested to to start doing investment, which is good for the outlook on economic development for the country, basically. So if there's any questions from students before we move on to the final segments for today. I can see that there are some in the
I think
Q&A chat.
Yeah, my colleague is doing a very good job helping me
yes,
to
yes.
Let's start the time is quite limited.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I think most of the questions are already answered by my colleague.
Right. So we'll move on to the final segment for today on financial fraud, which I think should be on the outlook of everyone. It's a bit alarming these days, on scam and relating to the financial fraud. So Dr. Selena, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Ziwani. Okay, everyone. So this is the last part of our webinar today. Okay, the same. Before I start, I would also like to do another poll. Okay, this is what I call the financial fraud poll. Okay, there are two questions. Okay, just to see what is going on out there today. Have you been scammed before? The first question. And the second question is, have you been directly approached by a scammer or scammers in the past? Very interesting. Okay, I can see the results coming in. Okay, about half of you have voted. Okay, I give you a little bit more time for access. Okay. Okay, I think most of you have voted. All right, let me share the results. Okay, have you been scammed before? Okay, it actually says here that 20% have actually been scammed before. All right, and 72% have not been scammed before. So it's actually quite alarming. 30%, almost 30% have been scammed before. And have you been approached by a scammer? Wow, yes, most of us have. 70% have been approached by a scammer before. Okay, so with that, will actually have a setting. So we have an idea. What is it? Now, let's have a look at this scam news clippings. Okay, this slide actually shows a compilation of headlines. Okay, one which is not added here. I think yesterday I wrote about a rubber tapper, 99,000 lost to a love scam. Okay, I don't know how it happened. Okay, but it happened at 99,000. Piano teacher, I think lost what? 4 million to scammers also. Okay, lecturer also can get scammed. Okay, woman 68 years old get scammed. Okay, accountant, doctor, student, college student, varsity student, retired teacher, housewife, writer, okay, clerk, anybody can get scammed. So what do you think? Do you think scammers actually choose their victims? What do you think are the key observations that we can see from here? All right. So as you can see, scammers actually do not choose the victims. Anyone can be a victim, regardless of your age, whether you're young, you're old, okay, regardless of your gender, male, female, in between, okay, occupation, right, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a retired teacher, whether you're a businessman, whether you're an accountant, housewife, anyone can get scammed, and regardless of your educational background. They do not pick who they want to scam. In as long as they can establish contact with you, then you potentially can be scammed. And I can see today very high rate, about 70% of us here today have been approached by a scammer before. So you really need to pay attention, to what is happening. Scams are not only happening in Malaysia, but it's also a global phenomenon. Based on the study by scamadvisor.com, look at this, 36 billion euros lost. All right, 225 euros per reported scam. There's an average about $1,000 or 1,000 ringgit or more per reported scam. 140 million scams reported, and 3% of the global population has been scammed before. Okay, let's look at how serious it is. Look here at the bottom. Can you see here? This one, the net income in USD billion in 2019. Apple Corporation made 55 billion US dollars. How much did scammers make? They made $40 billion. Scammers, yeah? Well ahead of Microsoft Corporation, well ahead of Alphabet, Samsung, Facebook, and Amazon. Okay, so the moral of the story is not to become a scammer, but be careful of scammers. They are really rampant, and they can really catch you off guard. In Malaysia, how is the scam situation like? The PDRM, or the police department, reported 769 million lost to scammers in the last 3 years. But for 2020 alone, which actually is commensurates with the time where COVID actually started, so everybody was online, the first 6 months of 2020 alone already lost 914 million to scams. Okay, there's a huge sum of amount of money that is drained out, and clearly many Malaysians are affected. So what is the financial fraud? Okay, the financial fraud is basically financial transaction for the purpose of personal gain. It's a crime, it's a civil law violation, And it's actually becoming very complicated nowadays because it's mostly conducted by white-collar criminals, educated people, basically, very smart people. In Malaysia, 63% of scammers are the top spammers in Malaysia. Those people who call you, okay, 63% of them are scammers. Okay, they are the top spammers in Malaysia itself. When you receive a call, 63% the chance is they are a scammer. All right, just a fair warning to you, especially when you receive a call, you really have to be very, very careful because scammers are very sophisticated nowadays and a lot of automation, a lot of advancements in technology. Okay, they can trick you into parting with your money. Yeah. Okay, there are many types of scams. Okay, these are it. In fact, the list is almost endless. They can come up with new scams, okay, whenever, you know, and we are actually not aware of it. So first one is identity theft. They steal your personal information. Okay, with this information, they go and access your bank account, they drain your funds, you know, they apply for credit card, use a credit card, they take loans under your name and so on. Well, credit and debit card is whereby someone steal your information and use your credit card information. Debt collection fraud, somebody calls you up and say, you owe me money, you better pay up. Okay, they actually demand payment on bogus outstanding debts. Or loan scams, some people want to borrow money, okay, and then after that, they ask you to pay processing fee or ask you to give your debit or credit card number to them so that they can, you know, charge your credit card for the application process and so on. Okay, investment scams, very common. This is typically the one that involves the biggest sum of money and the supernormal profits. Okay, typically involves huge sums of money and supernormal profits within a short time. You have job scams and employment fraud. You even have Microsoft scam. Okay, social media scam, very common nowadays. They use official brands and logos to trick you into providing personal information. Online shopping scam, we need to be careful. Facebook Marketplace. Okay. They pretend to sell a product or collect information. They ask you to pay for non-existing product or services. And with COVID-19 is most recently COVID-19 related scam. Earlier on was face mask and glove. Now it's coming to fake COVID-19 certificate, fake vaccine, you know, fake appointments and so on. All this, we must be careful, yeah? Okay, let's talk about investment scam. There are three major types of investment scam. The first one is what we call totally fictitious. The investment doesn't exist, but somehow they convince you to invest in that. The second type is the investment exists, but the scammer, after they invest, they take your money and run away. And the third one is scammer pretend that they are representing a legitimate organization. That means they tell you that I'm from this bank or I'm from this investment company, or I'm basically, you know, from say, what do you call that, licensed investment company. So they're pretending, and I actually got one of these also. OCBC Bank called me once for investment. They even sent me their name card, you know. Okay, but I actually look at the name card, it actually looked a bit dubious. So I went to check. True enough, it's actually a scam. All right, because suddenly the company just reached out to me out of the blue. Why does OCBC Bank want to actually call me, you know, right? So I'm very curious, so I went to find out. True enough, even the name card, the email that they gave, all fake ones. Be careful, yeah? The warning signs is when they pressure you to make decisions very fast, okay, when they call or email you frequently, when the investment is too good to be true, okay, supernormal profits, extraordinarily high returns, please be careful. After you invest, they ask you to keep the investment quiet. Don't tell anybody, all right? And also when it is not a registered entity. Okay, later on I will show you how to check on all these things. Huh? All right, next, how to spot an investment scam. Again, this is a non-exhaustive list of investment scams. Okay, it can be anything from Ponzi, pyramid scheme to unregulated product. Okay, even holiday property, land banking, Forex, must be very careful. Okay, my client came to ask me about Forex trading, asked me to check, and I went to check, it's illegal. Later on, I'll show you how to check. Cryptocurrency scam also. Many questions from students about cryptocurrency investments, and also going in for commodity investments. Okay, these are the common phrases used by scammers. If you hear them saying any of this, please be careful. Be alert, yeah? Get rich quick schemes. This is what we call scheme cepat kaya. Get rich quick schemes, normally, it will offer you high and unrealistic rates of return. Be careful. There's no such thing as instant wealth. Not like Maggie Mee, okay, 3 minutes, okay, you can cook Maggie Mee, you can eat straight away. In order to become rich, there's no instant formula for it. Okay, but if there is, it will normally involve very high level of risk and even the risk of you losing all your money. Okay, always verify and validate before you invest. Being careful is better than being sorry. All right. Okay, cryptocurrency scam. Are you all familiar with cryptocurrency? Bitcoin, okay, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. Okay, are you familiar with this? Have you heard of all this before? Okay, drop a yes in the chat box if you have heard of all this popular cryptocurrency before, or if any of you are actually already dealing or buying cryptocurrency. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I would say yes. Most of us are in fact familiar with this. Okay, how to check if your cryptocurrency exchange is actually legal or not legal? Have you all traded in any cryptocurrency before? And which platform do you all use? All right, which platform do you all use for your cryptocurrency dealings if you are actually buying and selling cryptocurrency? Can you share with me? Binance. All right, what else do you actually use? Okay, Luno, Remitano. Crypto mining and cryptocurrency are different. Okay, Hobby. Okay. Okay, I'm dropping a link for you now in the chat box. What you do is that you go and click into this link, all right, and you go and check about Binance, you go and check about Luno. Okay, Luno is here. In Malaysia, there are actually only 3 registered or recognized market operators. Only 3. That is Luno Malaysia, Synergy Technology, and Tokenize. So if your digital asset exchange is not here, I would really advise you to be careful. All right, we don't know what will happen, yeah? All right. Now, you just click inside and look. Okay, next one, pyramid scheme. So pyramid scheme is basically an investment scheme whereby there's no underlying product or services. Their sustainability only focuses on recruitment. That means I recruit you, okay, and then you pay entrance fee, say 100 ringgit, and you go and recruit other people to come and join together. So whenever you recruit, you will get paid also. So one person will recruit 6 people, 2 will recruit 36, and so on. And it goes, and it looks like something like a pyramid like this. And for Malaysia, we have got about 30 million people. Okay, I think by about 9, cannot even reach 10. 10 will be 60 million already. By the 9th level, the whole pyramid scam will collapse. So it actually shows how unsustainable all these pyramid schemes can be and why it will actually collapse after some time, because they don't have any underlying product or services, only focus on recruitment. Okay. And one more type of scam is what we call Macau scam. Macau scam is one of the most talked about scams in Malaysia nowadays. So what is the modus operandi? The scammers will call you. The first thing is you receive a call, and they will pretend to be a bank officer or a police officer. Sometimes they pretend to be from the income tax department or even from Pos Laju. So when you receive the call, okay, they will tell you everything. Okay, they can even support their call with your name, your address, even your IC number. Sometimes they give you. So that makes you believe that they are legitimate. Okay, so when you receive the call, then they will, they have their own storyline and all that. And then this suspect will say, okay, if you want to settle or if you want to find a way out of this, I will transfer you to another department. Okay? Or they will provide you a number for you to request to call the victims back. So you panic, isn't it? When the police officer tell you that you got a case, you need to go to court, you will panic, right? So what to do when you receive a call like that? Number 1, don't panic or react hastily. If you're sure that it is a scammer, you hang up the phone straight away. Immediately, don't engage with them. Because Scams happen because of engagement. Okay, so engagement only happens if you interact with them. So in order to stop the scam, you have to stop engaging with them. All right, if you want to be sure that you are safe, then what you can do is you call up the police department and check with them. Oh, is there a case, this number, this name, right? And is there really a case against me? Because I received a call telling me that I've got an impending court case. Okay, that's how you check. Verify the claims made by the caller. Love scams. This happens because more people are spending time online. Yesterday, I just read the news about rubber tapper. 99,000 of EPF money lost because of love scam. He fell in love with a woman that he has never met before. They only talk on Facebook. He has never seen her face before. And then she tells him that she's got some problem with her business. He just withdraw his EPF and send to him, and send to her, sorry. So why? Why does this happen? Okay, because of loneliness most of the time. Okay, because of COVID, we are very lonely. Okay, and then we meet people online. Okay, that's where we get trapped. So they have their own modus operandi for love scams. And normally, what is the reason why these love scams come about is because they want your money. That's all. Okay, so they will tell you to pay for the plane ticket so they can come and see you. Oh, I'm very sick. I need money, emergency money. I need to go to the hospital now for a surgery. Can you please send some money to me? All right. And then also customs fees. Okay, I'm sending you a very nice present, but this gift is stuck in custom. Please transfer some money to me so that I can clear customs. Okay, all these examples, yeah? So what do you do when you know it's a love scam? Stop communicating with them. Talk to someone that you trust. Okay, do a Google search to see if other people have similar stories. Don't transfer money to people whom you just met online or only know online. Do not accede to their requests that may put you in a vulnerable position. I think you understand. Sometimes they ask us for a naked picture, or they ask you to switch on the camera, and start taking off your clothes, that kind of thing. They will come back and blackmail you. And if that happens, if you are blackmailed, or if you suspect that you're a victim of a love scam, you need to inform the police as soon as possible. That is the way to stop it. All right, because someone is trying to extort money from you. All right, so with that, we end scams. And this is the most important part, okay, that you all really need to pay attention to. How to do background check. All right, this one is important, okay, especially when we are not sure what to do, okay, and we are not sure whom to go to when we suspect that we are, something is a scam. So what do we do? Okay, now, the first one, okay, right, let me share my screen and we shall go through that one, yeah? Okay. Okay, this one. All right. The first one that I dropped, okay, just now was the list of registered digital exchange that I already showed you. Okay, so for example, you wanna try Binance, right? Okay. Okay, you can actually type in Binance here. Okay, then the result will come out. Okay, then you read the news, the investor alert list. Okay, this is the news which is in relation to Binance, for example. All right. Okay, I just dropped you the link for number 1, Direct Selling Association of Malaysia. This is about the products and services that are sold, whether, when you talk about direct selling, people to sell things to you, whether they are actually registered or not. So you can see here, okay, you got your Amway, all right, your Atom, Avon, okay, all these companies, you can check whether they are registered or not as a direct seller, okay. And the next one is important for you to check on the people whom you deal with, especially for investments. All right, companies. So for example, okay, representative. Okay, I just put my name there. Okay, if you search that, my name can come out straight away. Okay, my name. Okay, what I do, financial planning, my company, and my license number, since when, and the status. Okay, this is the number 2. Number 3 is your investor alert list. Okay, this is the list of all the unauthorized website, investment product companies, and individuals. Okay, if before you invest, okay, one that I want to show you is OctaFX. Okay, this is what my client asked me because they were interested to actually, invest in OctaFX. They deal with foreign exchange speculation. So OctaFX is operating a digital exchange without registration. Okay, you can check on the legitimacy, okay, on all these companies before you actually register and invest in them. And the final one is from the PDRM, or what we call Police Diraja Malaysia. This app is called Semakmule, S-E-M-A-K-M-U-L-E, Semakmule. So I enter an account number. So they ask you to pay some money into an account number. We can actually verify to see whether this account number is illegal or not. Okay, let us try. I enter one account number. Okay, so they check the system there. You can see. And the report, okay, cannot. They say my captcha is wrong. Let's try again. 8A0A. Oh, hope I got it correct this time. Okay, let them check. See? You see the amaran here? It says this account number that you add in has 2 reports made. So you must be careful. It might be an illegal bank account or it might be a scammer. You can even check a phone number. Okay, not only bank account, you can also check phone number. All right. So this is called Semakmule, S-E-M-A-K-M-U-L-E. All right. So with that, that is to do background check. Okay, the next one is your complaints channel. Say a phone number keep calling you, keep harassing you. How to report this number? Okay, I will again drop you a series of links. Okay, please save all these links. Okay, the first one is MCMC. Okay, so MCMC is where you actually report a number, okay, to complain about scammers harassing or targeting you. Okay, if it's relation to fake products and services, online shopping, okay, you get a fake product or a fake service and then the platform doesn't want to, settle it with you, you can complain to the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs. That's number 2. Or you can claim, you can actually go to NCCC. It's like a tribunal. I've actually used NCC before and they are actually very good. Yeah. Okay. The third one, if any complaints related to banking, okay, you go to Bank Negara Malaysia. Okay, BNM Telelink. Okay, I've already dropped the link there with all the phone numbers for you. And also the last one is BURSA Malaysia. If you encounter any scam issues, okay, or misuse of BURSA Malaysia logo in fake investment opportunity, or whether if you're unsure if this particular investment is legal or not, okay, you can go to BURSA to you. All right. Now, to wrap up, what I want to just remind all of you is scammers, okay, they basically target you because of these 4 basic behaviors that we have. Number 1 is because we are scared or when we have fear. So scammers pretend to be law enforcement officer or from authoritative agency, right? So that's how they can scam you. Number 2, because we are ignorant, we don't know or we are not aware, we don't have the financial awareness. So therefore, we get scared. So how? Investment scam. Okay, scams involving bank-related matters. Online shopping scams. Okay, we are not aware, then we get scammed because we are ignorant. Number 3, because of gullibility. Because we are very naive. Love scams. We fall in love too easily. Okay, and then we get scammed by these people. Nigerian scam, even travel package scam. And of course, greed is the last reason. When we see investments that promise us supernormal returns in short time, we all get very excited and all of us want to invest in it. Be careful because you might be a victim of scams. All right. So given the frequency of spam calls from scammers, I would encourage all of you to install this app called Truecaller. It's very useful. Okay, in fact, not only Truecaller, there are a few others also. So when you install this on your phone, what happens is that we actually don't engage with the scammer. The idea is that we shouldn't engage with them. That means we shouldn't have any communication with them. So my phone has it. So whenever a phone call comes out and they tell me it's a scammer, all right, or a nuisance call, I will not answer it. Okay, so you can try installing Truecaller. Any one of you here actually have a Truecaller app on your phone? If you have, you can just drop me a message in the chat box if you have. Yes, very good. Yeah, many of you are aware of this, Truecaller. Okay, in fact, Samsung phones also, even without the app, you can actually have screening of calls. Okay, good. So with that, we end today's session. Okay, thank you, Yiling, for taking all the questions that was put in the chat box earlier. So before we start on the quiz time, may I know if there's any questions that you would like to ask? Anything for scams? I think scams more information, you know, that kind of thing. And all the links that I sent, that I actually dropped for you, you're trying to save all those links, you know, it become very useful for you later on. Okay, because sometimes when you're in trouble, we panic, we don't know what to do. Okay, you save all these links into a document, a Word document, and just save it in your computer. So next time you suspect any scam, then you can open up and see what to do about it. Yeah? Okay, great. No questions? Okay, Dr. Giwani?
Thank you, Dr. Selena. So I think all of the students have been very, was able to benefit a lot of information. It's a very informative session, especially on the final segment where we spoke about scam and all that. Because during the pandemic situation, there will be a lot of people who are very much opportunists and would like to take up, try out the opportunity with our students, and that is very, very scary. Now, let's move on to the next agenda on the quiz. We'll see how students will do on this Kahoot assessment, so-called.
Yeah, that's right. So are your students familiar with Kahoot, Dr. Biwane?
Yes, they are. We have used that as the platform for to assess their brief knowledge on certain things.
Yeah, that's right.
It's quite familiar at the university. Yeah,
that's right. Okay, great. So for those here today, Kahoot.it, or if you have the Kahoot app, you key in the code 3900043. Okay, I've actually put this in the chat box as well. Okay, we can see people coming in now. Okay, 33 students so far. Okay, I would encourage you to join, okay, because there's a small souvenir from BURSA Malaysia that they would like to give you all. Okay, come. You want to get the link for it, Ahmad Azad? Okay, www.kahoot.it. Okay. Okay, more joining. Yeah. You got in, Ahmad, or what? Okay, we still have about 90 participants, and people are coming in, trickling in very slowly. Can you just join in for the fun? Key in the code 3900043, www.kahoot.it. Okay. All right. Okay, I think we can start now. Okay, that's quite a good, more than half have already joined in. All right, look at the question on your screen. Which of these should you not do when planning your budget? Okay, look at what your needs versus what your wants are. Aim to save at least 6 months of your salary for emergency. Budget to pay only the minimum of your credit card. Try to set aside money for retirement. All right, let's see. Okay, almost everyone has answered as well. Okay, great, very good. Okay, 40% got the answer right. 40 people have got the answer right. Okay, you do not budget to pay just the minimum for your credit card, yeah? So for your credit card, you must always pay the full amount or the statement balance. Okay. Malaysia boleh, yay, you are on top. Malaysia boleh, followed by Zor and FPH, yeah? Okay, next question. If you want to buy something like a need, that isn't a need, like a new smartphone or a fancy bag, you should always try to first what? Okay, this is not a need, a new smartphone or a fancy bag. You should always try to use a credit card, take a loan, use your saving, or borrow from a relative. All right. Correct. You need to use your savings, yeah? Okay. So of course, some of you would say use a credit card, but the logic is, the intuitive way is to use your savings to do it, because eventually you need to use your savings to pay for your credit card bill also. Okay. Boleh, Pineapple Pizza, and KS. Very interesting names. Okay, next question. How do you know if the loan you're getting has the lowest interest cost? So what do you look at when you want to compare your loans? Effective interest rate. Do you compare the annual flat rate, compare the monthly flat rate, or compare the loan periods? How do you know if you're getting the lowest interest cost? Correct. You always compare the effective interest rate or what we call the actual interest rate. Okay. Malaysia boleh, right on top, followed by KS and Xiao Hui. Okay, next question. What are the roles undertaken by BURSA Malaysia? Market operator, front-end regulator, listed entity, or all of the above? Yes, all of the above. Very good. Okay, and Malaysia boleh, Matthew and Nick, right on top there. Okay, next question. Why do we invest? Increase current income, achieve financial goal, to improve standard of living, so that we can retire comfortably, or all of the above? That's right, all of the above, yeah? We invest for all these reasons. Malaysia boleh, right? Matthew and Sophia coming up. Next question. How many retail brokers are licensed with BURSA Malaysia? 20, 19, 23, or 25? There are 30 brokers. Okay, but how many are retail brokers? Correct, 23, yeah? 23 retail brokers in Sophia, okay, KS, and June coming up. Next question. What are the qualities to look for in a good company? All right, strong cash flow, continuous profit, less gearing ratio, or all of the above? Okay, the answer is Okay, all of the above. Very good. Sophia, KS, and June, right on top. Next question. What is BURSA Academy? Trading portal? Is it an e-learning platform, corporate website, or all of the above? What is BURSA Academy? Yes, it's a comprehensive e-learning platform, yeah, and it's free. Okay, do visit it. Who's on top? Sophia, KS, and June, no change. Next question. Where can I check the list of registered digital asset exchanges for cryptocurrency? Is it Police, Diraja Malaysia? Is it Securities Commission, MCMC, or LHDN? Yes, you're right. SC, Securities Commission of Malaysia. They are the regulators for all investments. Okay, KS, Sophia, and June, Malaysia Ballet coming up. Question number 10. How do I check for fraudulent bank accounts? How do I know? Is it Semak Still, Jom Semak, Semak Mule, or Semak Now? That's right, Semak Mule. You can check bank account numbers and you can also check phone numbers. Yeah. Okay, KS, Sophia, and June. Next. Which of the following is not a scam? To differentiate between a scam and not a scam. Warning letter from the bank. Deals that are too good to be true. When a bank officer calls up and requests for your OTP, or when someone requests to transfer money to resolve a legal action. Which of this is not a scam? Not a scam, huh? Okay, yes. A warning letter from the bank is not a scam. Okay, it can be to ask for a overdue payment, okay, or for any other reasons. Yeah, a letter is never a scam. KS, June, and Sophia, right on top. Pyramid schemes. Remember the pyramid I showed you? They have no underlying businesses or products. Is it true or is it false? Yes, it's true. No underlying business or product. They just rely on recruitment. Okay, KS, June, and Matthew. Right, and the last question. Scammers are the top spammers in Malaysia. True or false? Yes, it's true. 63% of the calls that we receive, probably it is a scam. Okay, so let's have a look at our podium winners. 12 out of 13, Matthew, very good. All correct, June. Fantastic. And also all correct. The winner is KS. Yay! Runners up are Zilong and Riyang, yeah? Okay. So KS, June, and Matthew, please keep in touch with either Dr. Ibiwani or Hafinas, okay, so that the BURSA can they can pass you the souvenirs from BURSA, yeah? All right. So Dr. So that comes to the end of our webinar today.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So indeed, I think this is a very, very wonderful session. It's just an eye-opener to many of the students, as well as, well, me for one, learned quite a few things today from the session by Dr. Selina. So I think we are actually a bit running over time because of the on the session, slightly over the time that we have planned before, but it's okay. I hope this is going to be a continuous collaboration between APU and BURSA on more fruitful sessions to come to provide more insightful sessions to our students as well as to staff of APU. So thank you very much, Dr. Selena. And those students who haven't registered with the pre-link registration put up by Ms. Hafinas earlier, please do so, because we're gonna get the input from the email address that you put in there to communicate to you on the recording if you require one. All right. So thank you so much and have a good day to all of the students. Take care.
Okay. Like for those who have any questions that you would like me to answer, also you can just stay back for a while. Okay, for those who have actually going off for your next event, okay, good luck to all of y'all. Okay, stay safe, take care. Okay, there is actually also a feedback form. Can you kindly also fill up the feedback form? I've actually dropped the link.
The feedback form as well as the registration. For students to put in their email so we can get in touch with them.
Yeah. Take care too, Ellen. Thanks, everyone. Adeline, thanks for joining us. You're welcome. Thank you. Welcome. Okay, some of them cannot access the link.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not able to fill up the form.
I see.
You're welcome. So if you can actually fill in the feedback form, I'll greatly appreciate that so that we can improve better for the future. Yeah. This is the Hafinas is sending the pre-registration form, the pre-registration link for those who are interested in getting the recording. Okay, and this is the feedback form. You can fill it up anytime that you're available. Thank you. For those who have filled up, thank you very much. Yeah, really appreciate it. And those who would like to get the recording of this webinar today, you can actually fill up the pre-registration link that Hafinas has put in the chat box.
Then we will take on from there once the link is available and communicate to students accordingly.
That's right. Okay, I'm just looking through the Q&A because we are a bit short of time and there were a lot of questions coming in. So a lot I actually couldn't answer. So if you have any questions, those who are still around, any questions that you'd like to ask, I'm glad I can still answer some of your questions if you want to, if there are. Yeah, kalau ada lah. I think most have left ya. Tinggal 30 orang.
Tinggal kita je.
Tu ada 30 lagi tu.
Oh yeah, 34 participants.
Still 34 people in the room. Okay, you can use a chat box. I can even unmute you if you want. Just request in the chat box. Say you have a question. I can look for your name and unmute you for you to ask a question if you want to. I have Dr. Liao is in the room also. Maybe one of the lecturers. Okay,
Dr. Liao, yeah. It's one of the lecturer from School of Finance. I think accounting. Dr. Liao probably invited the students in and then bring the student together for the session.
Thanks, Dr. Liao. I just promote him to panelist. If he wants to talk to us, it's okay. All right. Soalan dah tak ada kot. Okay. Oh dah semua dah thank